Say hi to YouTube
Hey, YouTube, from my palatial estate,
from his palatial estate over there in what's the name of your place over there?
Round Hill.
Round meaning lots of money. Hey, all right, it's here we go. Hey, EDUBBS, it's been a little bit of a long time, dude. I've been a little under the weather lately. I don't know. It's been a week. We call this episode 7, 8, 9. What are we
number
up to now?
eight, number eight, Rich. Sorry you're a little ill there. Hope you're feeling better there, buddy.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better. I get the attack of the stomach every once in a while. I'll go into that with you at another time. But yeah,
Yep,
it was a bad week, and I'm feeling a little better today. But I'm going to see the right doctors now. So hopefully everything will be taken care of. You know what I'm saying?
excellent. Hope you're in some good care with the. Hope there's a couple of Jewish doctors taking care of you there, Rich.
The best kind. The best kind.
well, you won't be going to them on Monday. That's for sure.
No, they won't be inside. Like you said the other day, they'll be, what's it called? Russia Homa? They'll be rushing home.
That's right. Rush home from work. That's right. Exactly. Too funny. Too funny. You know,
You have
I'm
the
really.
day off on Monday, right?
I'm sorry, Rich. What's that? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I said you have the day off on Monday.
I'm taking off on Monday. Yeah, I hope there's some day baseball on. I always like to watch a little day baseball while the rest of the world works. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I hear you. I hear you. So this weekend, some good football games on this weekend. I know how I was watching. Like, how do you watch? How do you get your football games when you watch football on
Well,
Sundays?
Rich, I saw an ad a couple of weeks ago for DirecTV streaming, and if you have a child that's in college, they can get you a discount. So I
Okay.
used my son, and I got the $125 for the season discount, and sitting on my couch on Sunday, getting ready for Buccaneers and Saints. Tom Brady trying to beat the Saints for the first time in a Buccaneers uniform in the regular season. First
Nice.
half, first quarter, second quarter, it's 3-3. All of a sudden, boom, it goes out. So I'm thinking it's my Wi-Fi or something like that. I know we bought a new router during COVID so we could have everything going, our work, the video games, the TVs. So definitely wasn't the router or the Wi-Fi. I go on Twitter and it looks like DirecTV is down for Sunday Ticket. DirecTV, you have one job to do every week. One job, and you did not deliver. Yeah, and then you think we get refunds for the
Eric,
week,
how
Rich?
much do you pay? How much do you pay for the service?
It's $125 with the student discount I get from Ben. Otherwise, it would be like over $300. Can you imagine paying $300 for a piece of shit?
Oh my God, man!
So
Why do you think that? If anything, with all this competition going on lately with these streaming services and NFL, all these, like I had the service. I couldn't even tell you. My one of my wife's friends had us sign up for it. It's called HSS Services. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know who I'm paying. All I know is that I pay $35 a month and it allows me to watch TV. It's kind of like a VPN. Like
oh,
I can literally watch sports. I can watch movies. Like I can literally watch for anything from around the world. So I could watch if I'm watching your last week, the Bucks and the Saints. I would just went to the Bucks or the Saints feed and I would just watched it from there.
oh wow, look at that, Rich. Yeah, I mean, but the DirecTV, I mean, they're like they have this $1 billion contract with the NFL, which expires after this year, so we're happy about that. But the technology's there, Rich. It's 2022 for heaven's sakes,
Yeah, I mean, weren't
right?
they they're one of the first ones to get that NFL ticket going? Wasn't it DirecTV?
Yeah, I used to have it back in the day, Rich. We switched from cable to DirecTV, and I got really pissed one winter when it snowed. Of course, it snows during the winter, and they're telling me I have to go on my roof and clear it off. I'm not going on my roof when it snows, Rich. I'm not even going on my roof when it's 90 degrees and sunny. You know, my tool is a butter knife, Rich. I don't even have a screwdriver. You think I'm going to get a ladder and go up on my roof?
Eric, I'll go up on your roof for you. There are times when I'm working about 900 feet in the air, dude. So a little bit of your palatial mansion, 3-story palatial mansion over there, and
I was just going to
in Mount
say,
Hill, I'd have no problem getting on that roof.
you could get up to the third story, Rich, no problem.
No problem. I could probably climb up the side of your house.
Ah, So yeah,
Yes.
so the game comes back on, Rich, and a happy ending to the story. Buccaneers win. We'll talk about the NFL later, but it's like just get it down packed, DirecTV. Come on, how many people are paying you to get this right? I mean, there's millions of people have the Sunday ticket, for heaven's sakes,
Exactly. Exactly.
right?
And
Right?
DirecTV would do themselves a disservice, being that they were the originators of letting everybody see all these NFL games from across the country. And you would think that they would do a little bit better with their service, since they have, like I said before, they have a lot of people, a lot of competition out there. You think that they would up their service, but it seems that their service is getting worse. Maybe they're just going to leave the game altogether.
Yeah, who knows, Rich? I'm in a foul mood tonight, though. Before we went on the air, Rich, Garrett Cole gives up his proverbial 3-run game tying home run to the Red Sox. I mean, this guy gives up home runs all the time. We're not talking baseball just yet. We're giving our opening, but this just happened as soon as we went on. It's
That's
4-4
fine.
now.
Oh, I
4-4.
love hearing when Garrett Cole fucks up. Come on, keep going. Keep telling me. I
Oh my
can't stand that
God.
guy. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. You know what? I don't want to see this guy in the mound in the playoffs, but you know what? Yes, I do. I guess but he gives up these home runs and he gets all bent out of shape. It's like, get the hitters out. That's the bottom line. Don't put runners on base. Give up the solo home runs. Here it is. It's 4-4. Maybe we'll get some Aaron Judge magic later, though, Rich.
That would be fantastic. I
Yeah,
mean, it would be fitting for him to win a game, have a walk off or something, or a game winning. It would be fitting. Listen, we're gonna go to Judge in a couple of minutes, man. But yeah, listen, you got to, Eric. I know we keep complaining about this. Me as just a baseball fan in general keeps complaining about this guy Garrett Cole. Guy could
hmm
go in there and strike out 14, be pitching great, and all of a sudden, bang, he lets up that big home run. It's like I don't know. Like
You
I
know,
said, my Yankee fans are laying their hopes on him for a playoff run. So I
well,
just hope the guy can come through for you guys.
he gives up the home run, the tying home run, or whatever, Rich, and then he goes into a hissy fit on the mound, like, "Ugh." But it's your fault, though. It's not anybody else's fault, Garrett. It's your fault you gave up the home run. I mean,
Man.
he was pitching good with the sticky stuff on his hands, the spider tech, whatever it was, and then when
Oh, he's
they
a
took
perfect
that
example of
away,
that.
yeah. Then they took it away, and all of a sudden he's giving up home runs, and come on, Garrett, pitch like a man, for heaven's
I'll
sakes.
tell you who wasn't. I'll tell you who wasn't a perfect example of that is my boy Jacob DeGrom. He's still pitching the same as he was last year. Sticky stuff or not.
Right. Yeah. Well, he's just in a league by himself, Rich. I mean, there's
Yes.
pitchers, and then there's Jason DeGrom. He's
Big, yeah.
he's the best, no doubt
I
about
was
it.
just watching. I was just watching some. Me and Aiden were watching some videos the other day, some Met footage from a couple of years ago. Remember when Jacob DeGrom had that long hair, that
Yes,
big bush of
yeah,
blonde
he
hair?
did. Him and Syndergaard had the hair, right?
Yeah, Syndergaard's looked. He of course with that Thor mentality and that long blonde hair. But Jacob Degrom's kind of just like, all right, I got this long hair, and he just kind of like it looked weird. Kind of looked weird on him.
Yeah,
When he
you
cut
remember
it,
when he got a
when he cut it,
he
I guess
yeah
he
he cut
became a
it.
man. I guess
Yeah, he looked like an accountant at the firm when he cut his hair, didn't he? Like
that's
all of a sudden he's like he went from that big, was it a mullet? I don't even know what the hell it was.
I don't even know what it is either. I don't know what was going on about that. Yeah. So, needless
But
to
Rich,
say,
we
you are going to have to find another way to watch football, or you're relying on for this weekend.
well, no, this weekend's good, Rich, because I think the Giants are playing on Monday night against the Cowboys, so that frees up the airwaves on Sunday for Channel 5. So we're going to have the Packers and the Buccaneers. We'll talk about later the Battle of the Bays.
Oof, yeah, oh yeah. Well, not only the battle of the Bays, but two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time going head to head.
Yeah, and they got nobody to throw to. So if you know some wide receivers, I mean, your son Jack is a wide receiver. He might want to apply down there because the Buccaneers and the Packers are both thin on wide receivers this week.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if you looked at Aaron Rodgers' stats last week. Like, he had a very Aaron Rodgers day, and he threw to pretty much everybody. I think he might have completed a pass to the coach at one point.
Yeah, but on the flip side, Rich, he's Tampa is a temple of doom to Aaron Rodgers. He hasn't been fared well down there in the past, and
Yeah.
it might carry over for this week as well. So,
All right. Well, we'll have to see about that.
but
So,
Rich, let's stop talking about doom and gloom. We got some big news. What happened on Facebook this week, Rich? Let me know. Big stuff, right?
yeah, yes, we did. Hold on one second. I'm gonna have breaking news right now. My wife is leaving right now to go pick up my son Jack from the John Jay New Rochelle football game, And Shannon, you're fine. When you guys come in, I would like Jack to come through the door and explain to these people out here what the score of tonight's game was.
All right, sounds good.
Because Eric, like I told you before, I saw these kids getting off the bus before. The New Rochelle football team, the varsity football team, looks like they could be the New York Jets.
Wow.
These
Jeez.
kids one was bigger than the other and more athletic than the other. So I'm gonna have Jack come in here probably in a little while and let us know what the score was. I'm sorry to interrupt you on that, but
Yeah. How many of
Shannon
those?
had to pop her head in.
Yeah. How many of those kids getting off the bus have scholarships already?
I honestly, that's the school. If I remember correctly, like I don't know, I don't know if it is or it isn't. If it's room, somebody said Ray Rice is the head coach. I don't know if
Wow.
that's true. Ray Red, it might be, but bottom line is this New Rochelle program. The coach, I guess, retired maybe 2 years ago or something. But he was there for like a very long time. I would say 30 years and ran a great program there. And all of a sudden he retired and and now they get, they still have a great program and they always do. So that's,
Wow. That's great.
I'm very curious to find out what's happening there when Jack comes home. So
That's
yes,
awesome. Can't wait for the breaking news. Yes.
yes. So we have breaking news of our own. Go ahead. What were we just discussing when my wife so rudely interrupted us?
Yeah, we're talking about a Facebook group that we started this week. If you go into Facebook, and I believe it is, I'm looking it up now. It's the MURF and EDUBBS Sports Show group on Facebook. And right now we have about 76 members. And when you go in, you'll see two handsome guys looking right at you when you go into the
Absolutely.
page. So, you see, you know you're there when you see us, Rich, right?
Absolutely, and that's a sign. We were tinkering around with that the other day, and also that's another thing. If you guys are looking for our show, we're still, you guys got the Check It Out logo there. Our podcast as a whole is called Check It Out. We're kind of moving more towards individualizing ourselves as the MURF and EDUBBS Sports Show. If you notice, we have our new logo, and Ben again was very nice to come up with a great logo to incorporate us being a New York sports talk show with the subway numbers and letters up there. And that's a new logo. And Ben, thanks a lot. So that's the logo you guys are going to see for the MURF and EDUBBS Sports Show. As we go, we're just, figuring out how to distinguish one from the other. But it's all going to be the same. It's all going to load the same. And thanks a lot, Ben, for that. And that's what's going on our the Facebook. We had that group. So you're going to see a picture of us, and then you're going to see the MURF and EDUBBS logo.
Yeah, and once you see the picture of those two handsome devils, we want you guys to share, post some memes, respond to stuff that, make some noise.
We want you guys out there to be interacting as much as possible on our group site. And again, we see people come by, they see it's, like it is what it is. But if you ever want to drop a line, drop a message, drop something to talk to us, it's growing, tell people about it. It seems to be that Facebook, Eric, I mean, listen, we were using Instagram there for a little while, but it seems that Facebook is going to be the place where I think we're going to get the word out more. I mean, Instagram's all well and good, but I think we could do more with this group platform from Facebook.
Yeah, I think Facebook's the most popular one out of the Instagram, Facebook. Twitter is mainly like a current events type thing. So I think the Facebook platform is great for us. And now we just want everyone to interact, like our stuff, post some funny stuff. I posted something today about Aaron Hicks and Aaron Judge. The wrong Aaron hit the home run, so it got a couple of reactions already, it looks like. So, come on, guys, make it funny. And yeah, we're not going to bite you. We're not, we see 76 people here. So if you go into Facebook, give us a like, give us a shout out.
Yes, absolutely. And I know me and EDUBBS here, we flood your Facebook accounts and we flood your Instagram accounts and Twitter accounts. We just hit these invites and it's just, what's it hurt to give us a share, give us a like, it's promotion. You know what I mean? So just, keep doing what you're doing, guys. And there's a lot. I'm also noticing like on our Apple platform and our Amazon platform, there's a lot of people listening that aren't, correlated with our group. There's other people listening that don't know us. Mm-hmm. So that's good. That means that other people are starting to catch on to us. So
yeah, that's good. And the ratings are going up too as well, Rich, right?
Yes, they are
there. I saw. Yeah, so that's pretty good and stuff.
We just surpassed almost 900 listens through the other platforms. So we're approaching 1,000 listens. So
yeah, Rich, we're better than local radio too, because we talk about the community a lot and stuff, So let me tell you, this summer I was driving in Pennsylvania and I hear Ryan Seacrest on the radio on a local Pennsylvania station. Ryan Seacrest is not Ryan Seacrest's ass is not in Scranton, okay? He's in California. You're getting nothing local on that station. It's all piped in stuff. We're giving you the local stuff. We're going to go to the rec. We're going to speak to Jay. We're going to go to restaurants local. We're going to promote restaurants. I mean, the 48-ounce steak at Trattoria La Conda on Main Street. Awesome steak. So, we're going to promote the local stuff, Rich. And that's what radio doesn't do anymore. You get
Listen,
your weather, you get your traffic. That's about it.
People people appreciate the local stuff too. Like I know I've been talking to a couple of my coach friends who are listening. Like they, it's God, it's nice you guys are talking about local coaching and what goes on in our community. And listen, for the other that are listening from out there, it's good to know that other communities have some good stuff going on when it comes to the local sports.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to that Dunkin' Donuts by All Sport over there. Have you been in there, Rich, lately?
Eric, I have, and I'm just going to tell you, I hope you tell me something good about it because I am fully convinced that if you're talking about Dunkin' Donuts, that the only good Dunkin' Donuts is the one across by Walmart. The one
my God.
has the coffee that comes out of the draft thing. Everywhere else, I get terrible service and bad coffee. Tell me a good story.
Yeah, they remodeled this Dunkin' Donuts by All Sport, and they got the coffee on tap, the iced coffee. So it's kind of like a mini one on Westage over there by Walmart. But you know what? I think it's the same owner, and they're doing the right thing, basically.
That's fantastic. All right, hey, listen, maybe I'll give it a try. I'm liking that. I'm liking that cold brew with the sweet foam. That's my new favorite drink from Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, I thought you were going to say pumpkin spice latte, Rich.
No, I'm not gonna break. You know what? I'm not even gonna break your chops about the pumpkin spice because I'm not a big fan of it either. You know what it is? Well, my whole goddamn house smells like it right now. Aiden likes the smell. She got all sorts of fall decorations, and I got Eric. You'd hate the smell of my house right now, dude.
Oh my God, yeah. And I woke up this morning, went to work, got in the car about 5:30 this morning to head to the office, and that chill in the air. You know what it reminded? It reminded me of fall. Pumpkins, apple picking, I was like, oh, first day of fall. It couldn't even wait for summer ended yesterday, but the first day of fall, how apropos, Rich, it has to be 45 degrees when I get in the car this morning,
Now tell me about that. You didn't like that? I was up this morning, Eric. I got up really early. Like I told you, I really haven't been sleeping well lately, but I was up early and and it was nice, crisp breeze out there. It was beautiful. You know what? I love summer. I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Love to live in a place where I could have summer 365 days a year. But
Sure.
that being said, we live in the Northeast. I'm a big fan of those September days that actually feel like fall. I love putting the sweatshirt on and sitting outside with a cup, just enjoying the outside. I like autumn when it comes around.
Wow, not me. I mean, I miss summer already. One day into it, and I can't stand it. It's 180 days of doom and gloom coming up for me between fall and winter.
You know what always confused me about you? This is what always confused me about you.
Yeah.
Again, friends forever. We know each other a long time. We know a lot about each other. I know that you're a summer guy. You love the summer.
Yes.
What the hell is up with the fact that you're a summer guy and you don't like the beach?
Well, it was weird because I went to California in the summer and I was on the beach in California, but that was for different reasons because in California, the sun rises behind you basically. So
exactly.
I wanted to see that phenomenon, but I just can't stand the ocean, Rich, because once you put your big toe in, you're on the losing team. All the shit that's in the ocean that's going to bite the hell out of you and chew you to pieces and have you for dinner. I don't want to be a meal, Rich. I don't want to be a meal to a shark. I hate the sand on my feet. We could talk about this in the summertime again, Rich. I hate the beach. You know what you are? You know you'll see me? You'll see me on the boardwalk eating a slice of pizza that's 2 times the size of a slice here in Dutchess County.
Now, like I said, we both love the summer. Now, again, another extreme difference between me and you. I love the beach. I could sit on the beach from the time the sun comes up to the sun goes down. I could sit there and listen to the waves. And you say the minute you dip your toe in that ocean, it's nothing but death.
You're on the losing team, Rich. You're on the losing team.
And my thing with the ocean is I literally think the ocean is the most healing thing out there. The ocean heals the soul. The ocean heals the skin. It heals the mind and it heals the body. I really, truly, truly believe that there's nothing like jumping into the ocean and just swimming around and knowing that You get all the salt water on your skin. I mean, Jimmy Buffett has a song that says, "The salt there, it ain't thin. It'll stick right to your skin. It makes you feel fine." I know I have a horrible singing voice,
Yeah,
but
he
there's
also
something to
says
be said about
cheeseburgers in
that.
paradise too, Rich.
And cheeseburgers are delicious, also.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
but like I said, I couldn't have a complete opposite. I mean, like I said, I do when I retire, I want to move somewhere where I could have 365 days a year sitting on the beach, and I'd be perfectly happy with me.
I'd like to be landlocked, Rich. I would move to Kansas if I had to, you know. I mean,
Landlocked.
the beach does nothing for me, Rich. I mean,
I can imagine.
you're sitting on the beach, you're getting bit by flies, the guy smoking a ciggy, you know, what quality is that? There's no quality there.
I don't
Oh,
know.
oh, and then Rich, then you're in the ocean relaxing? No, you're going against riptides. I mean, what's so fun about that?
Yeah. You know what? I just happen to love that. That's just one of my loves, one of
But
my
Rich,
passions. I do.
when you were
I
a
love
kid,
it.
right? When you were a kid, was there a such thing as a riptide? I don't remember.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Listen, it all has to do with the ebbs and the flows of the moon and
Right, right. It's all the
the
tide and
sun
stuff.
and
Based, yeah,
gravitational
exactly.
pull, and it all makes sense, and it all the world, the earth, and the gravity. It's all gonna figure itself out. Maybe there was
But
riptides when I was younger. I don't know. Maybe they're stronger now because of more gravitational pull. Let's ask Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't know.
ah,
We'll see.
but it's funny. I my grandparents had a house on Long Beach Island, right by the Acme supermarket. I don't know if you've
Oh my
been.
God, Eric's my favorite place.
Yeah,
Long Beach
so
Island. Love it.
I would go there. What would I do? I'd sit in the house and watch Yankee games. That's what I would do.
You would sit in the house when you were in Long Beach Island. The Long Beach Island, for people that don't know about Long Beach Island from the area, we don't live in California. We don't live in Florida. We don't live down in the Carolinas. But you listen. You're not allowed to talk on this. I'm gonna talk about beaches for a minute. You could just sit there and say I hate the beach because Long Beach Island has one of the most beautiful beaches in the Northeast that I have seen. I've been to a bunch of beaches, but if you're looking for a place to go and you got a family and you want to go down there, spend a week, rent a house down there, you will not see many beaches in the Northeast like the Long Beach Island beach. It's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. It really is. The Jersey Shore. Listen, I'm a Queens guy. And that being said, I never went to the Hamptons in my life. I can't stand it. I can't stand Long Island. I can't stand Jones Beach. I can't stand any of that. The traffic. Not a
hmm
big fan of Long Island. I always
hmm
went the opposite way. My cousins were from Staten Island, so we always went to the Jersey Shore. And I'll
Wow.
forever be a New York guy loving the Jersey Shore. The Jersey Shore beaches to me are by far the better beaches in New York and New Jersey. It's a Jersey Shore by far.
Yeah, and the one good thing about LBI, Rich, there was no boardwalk, so it was just mainly you were staying there, or like nobody just came for the day and stuff usually.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
I'd watch the Yankee games in the house during the day, and then we go to Fantasy Island at night. They had an amusement park down there, so that was
Yeah.
my But yeah, I would go on the beach, Rich, but I'm fair skinned, so not good. As a matter of fact. I used to work with this girl, and she thought I was Irish all the time because I said, "Why do you think I'm Irish?" She goes, "Because you got freckles and you're so pasty white." So okay, whatever, I'm Irish then.
Yeah. I mean,
Give me a
you
give me
see,
a corned beef sandwich on St. Patrick's Day. Okay, whatever. So
you see me in summer all the time. It's like I'm Irish as they come, but I get darker than dark. I don't know where I get my tanning skin from. I think I burned maybe once in the
yeah, that's
darker
crazy.
than dark in
Yeah,
summer.
now I
I don't
turn
know.
red like a Cincinnati Reds uniform. That's what I turn red
Yeah,
like.
I hear
Yeah.
you. All right, let's circle it back into listen, just like last thing we're going off on a tangent on our Facebook site. Just remember our Facebook site, guys. You guys are gonna get invites. Accept our invitation to our group. It's MURF and EDUBBS sports show, and just accept the invitation. And if you guys want to interact with us, that's the great place to do it. And that's where we can have all of our our new shows and what we're going to be doing in the future. It's going to be there as well as Twitter. So
Yeah, Rich, and we know that everyone's playing with their phones all the time, so there's like no reason why you can't go into Facebook. But one
exactly.
guy, one guy that likes to play with phones a lot is Brett Favre. He always gets in
Good
trouble with these
segue. I
phones.
love it.
So, did you hear about Brett Favre this week, Rich?
Yes, I did. Now, I know that you have a lot of information on Brett Favre. He got in a little bit of trouble this week. And
Mhm.
I just want to mention something a little bit that it's kind of similar because Brett Favre seems to have trouble with his cell phone. Now, I know what you're gonna say, and like we talked about, and I'm gonna let you go into a little bit more of that because I don't know a lot of the logistics. I know that there's a mayor that might be in a lot of trouble or a governor, but let's go back to a bunch of years ago to a girl named Jen Sturger.
Mhm.
She a model, beautiful girl. She was in Maxim. She used to be the Jets game day host. Listen, that story just resurfaced again, obviously because Favre's in trouble. But Brett Favre sent a dick pic to this girl a long time ago,
Wow,
and
from
tried
his
to say
flip
it
phone,
wasn't
right?
him.
Flip phone.
I tried to say that it wasn't him, and unbeknownst to Brett Favre, he was wearing his Super Bowl ring. So I don't know if it was I don't know if it was the beauty mark or the freckle on a part of his junk, but no, you had your Super Bowl ring on. So Brett Favre, I don't know what you're gonna do here, man. This is
So,
another.
Rich,
This is
imagine,
a little worse than a dick pic. So
yeah, imagine if he played for the Buccaneers and he pulled down his pants and said Bucks, and all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, after looking at this girl, he says Buccaneers tattoo. So when it grows, so it's like, so I wonder if it said Pack, and then all of a sudden it said Packers once he looked at this girl.
yeah, but you know what? This girl, she actually, I don't know if she made out on it, but she was an intelligent girl. She knows a lot about sports. I think she has a podcast about sports, so she wound up doing okay. And listen, I also heard an interview with her a couple of years ago saying that she didn't really, this is when that whole Me Too movement was starting and everything, and she didn't want to jump on that Me Too bandwagon
Hmm.
back then. But she would just say she just gave her story and how it was kind of weird to get a dick pic from Brett Favre. But Brett Favre's in a little bit of trouble for some texts that he's been of his own. What you
Yeah.
think about that?
Before we go into Brett Favre, Rich, Aaron Judge just got a single, so
Ah,
he got a hit, but we'll get into that later on. The Aaron Judge numbers, which will knock your socks off. But you remember this quarterback Sage Rosenfels? He had a cup of coffee with the Giants in 2010, 2011. So
vaguely,
on this,
vaguely.
yeah, he was like a backup quarterback, a Jewish guy. So of course the Jewish guy is going to be the backup quarterback.
Absolutely,
But
of course.
yeah, but he tweeted yesterday. Since retirement, I have not been. I'm sorry. Since retirement, I've been lucky not to steal millions from the poorest people in my state. So, what was this cryptic message referring to? Well, our good old friend Brett Favre. I
Right.
guess Rosenfels is not a big fan of Brett Favre, as they were teammates in Minnesota when Favre was finishing out his career.
Now, what's that?
But
No, just refresh my memory. Like, what this guy Sage Rosenfeld? Like, what's his role in this? Like, why would he tweet something? Is he what does he do now out of football?
Well, no, he was the backup quarterback on the Vikings. He was Favre's backup, so I
Right.
guess that he didn't. He wasn't the biggest fan of
Gotcha.
Favre, I
Gotcha.
gather, when they were with the Vikings.
Oh, so he
But
just threw
in
out a random tweet random tweet when he found out that Favre was in trouble.
Yeah, so in 2018, in the state of Mississippi. Now, Mississippi is the poorest state in the United States, Rich. But
Yeah.
they gave Favre 1.1 million to make these speeches that he never wound up making in the first place. So good old angel that he is, Brett Favre. Paid back the 1.1 million he pulled from welfare checks, basically, but still he owes $230,000 in interest. Now, this
Oh,
is a guy who made.
so he paid
Sorry.
the money back. So he paid the money back that he received for work not done. Obviously, so he paid the money back.
Right, but he still owes interest on that money, basically.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
he made $140 million in his career. So, what's a $1 million to make speeches on his own? Why does he have to take it from a state taking people's welfare checks?
What do you think happens with these unfathomable amounts of money that these guys make? Eric, you know what? What's going on? You just said he made $140 million. Why is he stealing money, like you saying, from what welfare recipients of
Oh yeah,
inappropriate funds? What's going
well,
on? Why these guys make millions and millions of dollars through their careers, and why do they end up broke? Why do they end up stealing money? Why do they end up doing shady deals? I mean, are they just dumb? Like these guys go through hundreds of millions of dollars, and listen, and I don't want to hear that. And you hear some of these guys say, "Well, they don't have a retirement. A retirement? You made millions. I don't want to
hmm
hear about your retirement. Your retirement is your first year in the NFL or the NBA or the major leagues. Why are you guys misappropriating funds? You're Brett fucking Favre. You run a Wrangler commercial. What the fuck are you
hmm
doing, dude?
Oh well, the story gets better though, Rich. So
God,
so,
go
so
ahead.
yeah, the state also dolled out $5 million on Favre's request to fund the volleyball stadium at the University of Southern Mississippi, where Favre's daughter went to. So there's another $5 million taken from welfare checks to build this. I never heard of a volleyball stadium before. Have you?
Volleyball stadium?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess. I mean, is his daughter a volleyball player? Like, is that what it is?
Well, she was at the at the University of Southern Mississippi, but they're giving the state's giving $5 million to build this stadium. I mean, can't Brett Favre give 5 million? You know, a nice donation out of
Yes,
that $140 million that he has, right?
yes,
It would
yeah,
be a
yeah.
tax write off too.
A big time tax write off.
Hmm.
I don't know. I listen. We make what we make, on our salaries, and we try to do the best we can for our families. And at the end of the day, all our bills are paid, and maybe we get a vacation or two a year, and a decent
Hmm.
car and a house. And these guys are multimillionaires over and over and over again, and
Yep.
they still find ways to misappropriate their money. Not all, obviously, not all of them, but you shouldn't even be able to. You should one of these stories. I mean, obviously
Hmm.
they have people that are managing their money for them that, they get fucked over sometimes, but
Sure.
this is unbelievable.
Yeah,
Unbelievable. This
and
is an
then
unbelievable story to me.
yeah, and how was this all discovered, Rich? Through text messages. I mean, put the phone down, Brett Favre. I mean, how many times does this guy have to learn to stop texting? Anything you text is public, can be out in the public, Rich. You can't hide text.
Yes.
Even if you delete text, they're still around. So I think this guy needs to go to like one of these classes at Verizon or something like that. That you see how to use the iPhone, right?
Yeah. 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 I mean, where like, Brett, where does he go from here? Brett Favre, where do you go from here? Try to steal money from poor people. Now, where do you go?
Yeah,
Just go back to where's
exactly.
he from? I
And,
mean, and maybe listen. If it wasn't Brett Favre, I wouldn't be saying this because obviously Brett Favre, if he has a child, she'd be an athlete. But you think maybe like I mean, I almost think like the first thing I thought about is maybe Brett Favre's daughter wasn't even really a volleyball player. Maybe they got caught up in remember that whole scandal, that college scandal with
mhm.
what's her name, Lori LaGloughlin's daughters. They
Oh,
were
that's
supposedly.
right. Yes, yes, yes. Full
Hey,
House.
listen,
Yeah. Hmm.
hey,
Hmm.
listen, maybe we'll build we'll supposedly build a volleyball stadium. If you say my daughter was a volleyball player and you know what I mean? Like, who knows? Something like that might have been going on. He's misappropriating funds from welfare recipients. Who knows that? Maybe he's messed up in something like that.
Unreal. That's crazy. But
Yeah.
it's like it's like yeah, like you said, these athletes and stuff. It's
Yeah.
absolutely bizarre how they do this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens with Brett Favre, and I think he's okay. I think the governors in or former governors in deep trouble, that more deeper trouble than Favre is. But
Yeah.
I just found
Now
this
again.
funny how this guy who he texted the dick pics, Rich, and his wife had breast cancer, I believe, right? Wasn't
Yeah.
so? It just shows what a classy guy he is, right?
Yeah. You know what though? It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. People are just going to be who they are. People are scumbags. Some
Mhm.
people are, some people aren't. People do stupid things. I don't know what it is, but you're right. He said that. Forgot about that. His wife had. That's right. I forgot about that. That was pretty terrible.
Speaking about stupid things, Rich, I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
how do you say this. Emi Udaka, is that how you say that?
Udaka. Emu Udaka. Yeah. Emu
Yeah.
Udaka.
So
I
Emi
didn't. You know what I
Udaka,
didn't? Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, no, he went from like the penthouse a couple of months ago, and now he's suspended for a year. This is
You
crazy.
know who?
Crazy story.
Do you know who? Do you know who his girlfriend slash love interest has been since about 2010?
Oh, I
I
forgot the name, but I know
don't
the
know if you're aware of her. I am though. Her name is
oh,
Nia Long. She's an actress.
okay.
Now I looked this up today. They've been off and on together since about 2010.
Yeah, and I
Now
read
up
she doesn't believe in marriage, so they were never married, right?
Yes, they were never
Hmm.
married.
Hmm.
And from what now listen, before we go into the logistics of what happened with this guy, and I
Hmm.
know we both have our opinions on it. This guy and Neil Long at this moment in time, from what I read, they were not a couple. They were
Hmm.
off and on. I don't know what their relationship is like. Maybe they're just
Hmm.
two different, different lives or whatever. But at the moment, I know there was a pic they were seen yesterday together, when all this
Hmm.
drama is going on. I seen that there's a picture of the two of them coming out of a hotel or something. But not that they were estranged from each other, but I don't know if they were still friends, but I don't think that they were intimately involved. I don't know. But where this story is going, as far as this guy, with the inappropriate relationship with one of the employees.
Hmm.
Now, inappropriate how, Eric? Now, explain to us what's going on. Now, they said he had an inappropriate relationship. Now, explain to me what happened, and you explain to me if you think that this relationship was inappropriate.
Well, yeah, inappropriate. It sounded like a consensual relationship between two people. So I don't
Right.
know why a year suspension. I mean, unless something broke today, some more news about it, Rich. But when I looked at it,
What
it
did
looked like
break though?
that.
What what can break over the overnight that wouldn't have been said like 2 days ago. Like, did he rape her? No, he didn't rape her.
No,
Did
no.
he touch her inappropriately? No. Did he
Mhm.
put his hand up her skirt did he call her toots? No. The two people were attracted to each other and they
Mhm.
had sex.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep.
The
Happens
only
every
thing
day,
is that
Rich.
breaking
Happens every
it
minute.
happens
While
every
we're on the
day.
while we're on the yeah, we're on the radio right now. How many people around the world are having sex right now when we're talking sports, right?
And listen, it's the most talked about thing. I mean, like
Mhm.
sex. Listen, sex rules most people's lives,
Right.
especially men. Listen,
Mhm.
Men. That's the first thing we think about.
Hmm.
And this guy should be able to go about his day, almost taking his team to a championship last year.
Right.
My Boston Celtics. Maybe I have a soft heart for this guy because he did a really good job taking over my team last year. But
Mhm.
I don't see how. Again, they must have broken some Boston Celtics policy, and that I
Mhm.
guess I get that. But I don't know. Two consensual people having sex with no problem doesn't seem like it's a problem.
But I want to know is like, how did it come out though? I mean, why it could have been done behind the scenes. It wouldn't. Nobody would have to know about it. Why all of a sudden is this news? Basically, did
Well,
something happen? Is it in the
you
code
know
of conduct? Maybe from the he had to sign something. So what's going
you know
on?
how this happens. All this happens. Did they? Is the girl out in the open? Is the girl known that this was going on with? Do we know who
I
it is?
believe I saw a picture of her today.
Oh,
So I
so she
believe
is
it's
out there.
out. Yeah.
Okay,
So is she
so
going to get suspended too, Rich?
probably. Did she work? She works for the Celtics also. Or I thought she worked
Yeah,
for like
both were
ESPN.
Celtics employees. Yep.
Both were
Mm-hmm.
Celtics employees. Okay, I thought she
Mm-hmm.
might have been an employee of ESPN. Okay, so both the Celtics employees.
Right.
Happens. Look, two people are having a good time, and one person
Mm-hmm.
on either side of the other doesn't like that the two of them are having a good time because they were our
Ah.
ex-boyfriend or they were our ex-girlfriend, and maybe somebody dropped a picture or maybe somebody dropped a comment on Twitter, or that's how this stuff
Mm-hmm.
gets exposed.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yep. Sure. Sure.
Yeah,
Crazy, right?
it's kind of it kind of sucks, but
But a
maybe
whole
listen.
season though, Rich, a whole season. I mean, look at the owner of the Phoenix Suns with his racial comments and his misogyny, and he's a toxic culture he created in Phoenix. He's suspended a year too. I mean, so who, where do you draw the line on this though, Rich?
You're So what you're saying, and what the NBA is saying is that this guy could go around and say whatever the hell he wants about people. He could call them racial names, he could epithets or whatever, and this guy
Mhm.
could sneak off and have a consensual sexual affair with somebody,
And they
and
get the same punishment.
they get the same punishment. This
Crazy.
world
I
is
know
this world is so crazy, dude. It
the
really is. This
Suns,
world is so crazy.
yeah, the Suns owner got fined $10 million on top of it. But what's $10 million to an NBA owner,
Oh,
Rich?
yeah, it's a drop in the bucket.
Right?
He probably doesn't even know they wrote a check. He probably doesn't even know.
Well, it's funny because he might have to sell the team now, and one of the prospective owners would be Mr. Amazon.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I don't want him in sports. Eric, does this guy? Does he really? Does he really need to get into sports now? I mean, I know he's got the games on Thursday nights, and I know about that stupid rumor about him changing his stupid football. But does he really got to buy a football team?
I mean,
Wait,
what doesn't the guy? What doesn't the guy? He's into space. He's into sport. The guy runs the world basically, right?
but is that good?
It's not good. No, because how much does he know
No,
about sports? How much does he know
he
about the
knows,
Phoenix Suns, right?
he knows nothing about sports. I mean, I was thinking that he wants to buy a team. I was like, that guy's got big enough balls. I thought he maybe wanted to just buy the NFL. The guy wants to be the
Right?
first trillionaire. At what point, we could talk about this, money and the disparity of wealth in his country, and I mean, this guy's got money for lifetimes upon lifetimes upon lifetimes. When you get to that point in your life, like a guy like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and
Hmm.
all the guys, and I don't think money is real to them.
Right.
Like
Right.
when I say that money's not real to them, money's real to me and you. Me
Hmm.
and you get bills every week. Me and you
Hmm.
get our mortgages. We get our car payments. We get our, for our kids. We get our bills. We have to pay our bills. We have physical proof that we're paying our bills. I
Exactly.
think that when you get to some point of wealth in your life, it's kind of just like a transfer of funds. It's kind of just like, all right, I have all this and this is worth that. But I
Hmm.
bet if you walk down the street with Jeff Bezos and you asked him to buy you a cup of coffee, I bet he couldn't buy you a cup of coffee because he didn't have a dollar in his pocket.
Right, exactly. But on the flip side, what do you think about Mark Cuban? I think Mark Cuban
Love him.
is like, into the sports. He's into his team, right?
Love him.
Yeah.
I love him. I love Mark Cuban, and I think there needs to be more owners in sports in general like Mark Cuban, because Mark Cuban gets in there with his fans, and he's passionate about his team. Like,
Hmm.
I don't really know where he's from, but I know Mark Cuban is a self-made guy from the beginning. No money. He was not giving anything.
Yeah, he's
He's a
from Pittsburgh.
self-made guy. Oh,
Yeah,
from
he's from
Pittsburgh?
yeah, Pittsburgh. Grew up in a Jewish family in a suburb of Pittsburgh, and yeah, no, there was no money.
Dude, he started broadcast.com when the dot coms started up a long time ago, sold it
yep,
to Yahoo, bought a plane, and just went from there.
yeah. His father was an automobile upholsterer. That's what his father
Yeah.
did, and his mother did nothing. She had a different career goal every week. So yeah, he grew up with not in a money family. He made it on his own, Rich.
Made it on his own. And he makes that Dallas arena fun. Like, he's out there,
Oh,
like, you see him sometimes drinking beers with the fans and stuff.
and the players
Like,
love him too. Yeah. Hmm.
yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Hmm.
And that's
Hmm.
very evident too, because a lot of those guys stick around. What's his name? Loved him. The Nowitzki. Nowitzki loved him.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yes, yes.
Nowitzki would always say how much he loved him. So yeah, I think there should be more owners like him. But this Celtics coach, listen, Godspeed to you, brother. Maybe you just picked the wrong girl. I hope she's worth it. Just see what happens. And listen. There's got to be some kind of I don't know if I trust this assistant coach that's going to run the team for the next year. So there's got to be some kind of form of communication, like a bug or a microphone inside the jacket or something.
Yeah, maybe
I don't know.
Brad Stevens is still calling the shots from the general. Is he the GM, Brad Stevens? I know he moved upstairs, right?
Yeah, he moved upstairs, but they're thinking of putting the assistant in now. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to this big thing we got going with the best baseball player in the game right now, Mr. Aaron Judge. Now I have to pose a question to you, my friend.
Sure.
Okay, you're sitting there. You happen to get these nice seats. You're right there. You're out in that short porch. Let's say you're out in the short porch somewhere, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And you're sitting there on this beautiful night. Aaron Judge gets up to bat. Obviously, he hasn't hit it yet, but say he does. Boom. That ball lands right in your beer. And you say, holy shit, this is history right here in my beer. I grab the ball. Now, obviously, at that moment, you are a bigger star than Aaron Judge at that point. Okay. You are the person that's going to be on ESPN. You are the person that's going to be all over the places, all over the talk shows. Now, you being the Yankee fan that you are, me being the Met fan that I am, I'm going to give you my perspective. Give me your perspective. Let's say Eric Weisfeld's at the park and he catches number 62.
Wow. Well,
What would we do with this ball, my friend?
let's turn back the clock right. October 1st, 1961. So there was a restaurant guy in California, and he offered anybody that caught Roger Maris's 61st home run $5,000 basically for the ball. So I think we've come a long way, Rich, from $5,000 in 1961 to today.
Okay.
I think if I caught the ball, first of all, I would want everyone to get off me because I know you're going to be in a pile of people and stuff. So I think I think I would put the ball.
Everybody just get away from me.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? Droplets of spit on you and everything. You know how I love my germs, Rich, right? I won't even need
That's
dip.
why I'm laughing.
I won't even need a bowl of onion dip and all these like bulbous people on top of me going at. So I put the ball in my pocket. That's what I'll do, Rich. I'll look for security, right? And then I have to decide. I mean, we got to negotiate. I think there's some
Now, this guy the other
negotiations.
day,
Yeah,
this guy the other day. Listen, I know it wasn't 62 and I know it wasn't 61. Guy
right.
met Aaron Judge. What did
Hmm.
he get? Tickets or something? I
Yeah,
don't know.
he got a couple of bats, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
The kid did the smart thing though because there's no IRS intervention. Well, maybe there is. Maybe those jerseys or bats are worth more than $600. He might have to fill out a 1099. But
Yeah.
it's all about the negotiations, Rich. I would want Yankee season tickets. I would want a
Okay.
jersey, signed jersey,
All right.
a couple of bats, balls,
Okay.
and I would make one request. I always had a dream, Rich,
That's
of taking batting practice in Yankee Stadium.
all right. So you're coming
So,
from
do
that
you think
perspective.
am I being too am I being like a diva with all my wants here, Rich? But I think that
Wait a
ball is
second.
worth more than what I'm asking for.
Do you think that you're being a diva? The man is about to make $50 million from somebody next
Mhm.
year.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you being a diva because you want season tickets and you want to take BP at Yankee Stadium. All right, listen, I'm a Mets fan, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I'm a diehard fan. I'm a
Sure.
diehard Mets fan. I'm
Mhm.
also a diehard baseball fan.
Mhm.
That baseball right there is history for Yankee fans,
Yep.
not the baseball fans. That's for
Mhm.
Yankee fans. Now,
Mhm.
it's a great note. It's a great honor. It really is. It's a great honor. I mean, listen, it's another honor. Listen, he's going to do something else this year that I think might be even almost as hard. I mean, he's going for the triple crown.
Yes. Mhm.
Miguel Cabrera did it in 2012, but Mickey Mantle was the last one to do that. I mean,
Yeah, and Yankee. Yep. Mhm.
this guy is playing on such a high level. You look at every single stat that matters in Major League Baseball, and he's number one in every single category. I don't know
Mhm.
how Sandy
Mhm.
Bogarts did tonight. I don't know how he did tonight. I'm just talking about
He's
the
not in the
numbers.
lineup tonight. He got the night off.
Now, that being said, the New York Yankees are going to have to compensate me some kind of they're going to have to give me some kind of monetary compensation. I don't want
Mhm.
Yankee season tickets. I could
Mhm.
care less. You know, I care about the
Mhm.
Bronx. I'd rather be in
Sure.
Queens.
Mhm.
Okay. I
Mhm.
don't want a signed Aaron Judge jersey. Okay. I'd
Mhm.
rather have a
Mhm.
Pete Alonso jersey. Okay. There's nothing that the Yankees in their organization that could give me that would be physically or mentally satisfying for catching the 60-second history ball.
Wow.
Now, listen, the Steinbrenners could come out and they could say, hey, you got the ball, this, that, and the other thing. We could talk about what I would do. And then it'd be a nice story. I gave the ball. But listen, behind closed doors, it's like, listen, you're gonna have to compensate me because that ball is gonna be priceless.
Yep.
And I'm sorry to say it. And
Mhm.
listen, everybody in this world wants to get a piece of their pie. And
Sure.
that piece of the pie is worth a lot of money, man. That's sports memorabilia. That is going to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars at some point. And
Oh, no doubt about
I'm
it.
gonna want
Yep.
some kind of monetary compensation for that ball.
But it's
Not
so funny,
malicious, not
Rich.
malicious, but
Right.
monetary compensation.
But it's so funny because you look at Aaron Judge and look at Roger Maris. Roger, I think the commissioner at the time was it Ford Frick or so. I forget who it was, but he wanted to put an asterisk by Maris's name because Babe Ruth only played a certain amount of games. I think they had like six fewer games or something. So he wanted to put an asterisk by there. Also, Roger
Can I
Maris,
just say something? Can I just say something about Babe Ruth?
yeah.
Listen, I know you guys love Babe Ruth. Okay, I know baseball loves Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth
Hmm.
was one of the greatest legends of all time. Now, I'm going to say something. Babe Ruth never played against any minority baseball players.
Hmm.
Now, I gotta say that I mean there was some pretty good baseball players back then. Now, Babe Ruth, fine, he's great, legend. He had a lot of home runs,
Yep.
but to what extent was the competition?
Right. There wasn't any competition. He was the only one. He was the only big guy, really, Rich. If you look at right, he was like
Yes.
the Aaron Judge of that era, basically. Crazy. But
Yeah, exactly.
Roger Maris. Nobody really wanted him to do it, Rich.
Is that
Commissioner didn't
because of
want
the?
him to do it. The fans didn't want him to do it. Yankee fans did, but he was getting death threats. Rich. His hair was falling out. The stress alone. I mean, this is night and day. Everyone's rooting for Aaron Judge to do this. But you
Well, he
turn
was a
back the
very
clock.
quiet. He was a very quiet, reserved guy as it is, and he didn't want the spotlight at all. I mean, I've seen some documentaries, and if you watch that movie 61, he didn't want
Mhm.
that spotlight at all. He hated it.
He hated it, Rich, and I think the fans didn't want to. Maybe he didn't want to hit the 61st home. I don't know, but Babe Ruth was so 61. You're talking 13 years after Ruth died, basically. So Babe Ruth was the legend. There were still a lot of people who saw Babe Ruth that saw Roger Maris. Um, but yeah, it's just crazy these stories. And if you go back and look at it, just do a Google on it, everybody. Look at the Roger Maris, and you'll see it. This is night and day what Aaron Judge is going through right now. Aaron Judge is the lovable guy. Roger Maris's family was getting death. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. It's a
You just
game.
you just brought up another point about Aaron Judge.
Hmm.
You cannot hate that guy. You
No.
can't dislike him. You look at him and he's kind of like that lovable, big, like goofy guy, who happens to
Hmm.
be ridiculous baseball player.
Hmm.
And the
Yeah.
fact that
Unlike Barry Bonds, but like his personality. I mean, San Francisco, he's gold, but look around the other 29 major league cities, he's not, you know. So,
But you know,
but Aaron
but
Judge is
listen.
gold all over. It seems like, you know.
But also, you know what? We always talk about Barry Bonds. We feel the same way about Barry Bonds.
Hmm.
But Barry Bonds never said that he was trying to make any friends in the game of baseball.
No, no,
He
exactly.
never said that. Why is everybody badgering me? He never said why is everybody saying. He never claimed to want to make any friends in baseball.
Nope.
It's like this. He was a jerk, yeah, but he wasn't the whine and saying, "Why does everybody think I'm a jerk?" He's like, I'm a jerk. Whatever. I'm here to play baseball.
And
The way
before,
you think of me, I don't care what you
right.
think of me. I'm here to play
Mhm.
baseball.
And then there was Albert Bell, Dave Kingman, all these type of guys, same type of personalities. Rich, they were here to play baseball and f you to the media, basically.
Yeah. Did you? I did. Did you see that video I sent you the other day of Albert Bell?
Oh no, I did not. I didn't
I
see it.
sent you a
No.
video the other day of Albert Bell breaking up a double play in early 90s, maybe.
Okay.
I guess I forgot who they were playing. Go back and look at your videos. Albert
Hmm.
Bell is going from first to second.
Hmm.
Literally, the second baseman picks up the ball. Albert Bell leveled him.
Oh,
Literally
jeez.
leveled the second baseman to the ground,
Wow.
stood over him and said, "What?" And then
Wow.
walked off the field. And the caption
Jeez.
is just, "That's how you break up a double play."
Yeah, basically, right? God, unreal,
Yeah.
right? Amazing.
Yeah, you're going anti Aaron Judges now. You're going talking about guys like that. I think
Yeah.
he's the exact opposite.
No, exactly. Yeah, polar opposite, right? It's crazy,
Yeah.
But but this whole Maris, it's funny how it went from Ruth to Maris and now to Judge, who had stayed in the Yankee organization. We're talking American League record. I don't think he'll get to break Bonds' record. That's there's only like 13 games left, but he
Yeah.
definitely will break this American League record
Well,
if the Red Sox pitch to him, But he'll make
yeah.
he'll do it in Toronto maybe if that's the case. So, but I'm
Yeah,
just
listen.
wondering if he does it in Toronto, does the fan who catches it ask for American money or Canadian money?
Yeah. Listen, the American dollar is good anywhere you go.
Yes.
You just said something that was kind of funny to me. It won't be funny to you, but it's kind of funny to me.
Hmm.
Judge might break the record one day, but how fitting would it be if he breaks the record out there in the big San Francisco Bay out there in a San
No.
Francisco Giants uniform,
Oh,
even saying that Aaron Judge says, listen, it's nice. I broke the Yankee record, but 73 is the real record. And I used to love watching Barry Bonds play baseball as I grew up
hmm.
in
Hmm.
California.
Well,
Now,
yeah,
maybe
we'll see how it plays out, Rich. And it's funny because the Giants open up in Yankee Stadium next year, first game. So that would,
that is
can you
set up
imagine?
for a beautiful opening day. Or not to mention, if you want to go with Vegas, he might be playing center field for the Mets. Who knows?
Wow. Well, you know what?
3-1 odds for a big Aaron Judge to come to Queens.
If they play, yeah, what were the Yankees odds? Did you see the Yankees odds on that,
I
Rich? Were they
didn't.
higher?
I
No,
didn't. I
I didn't
didn't.
see
I'll
it.
tell you right now, San Francisco, the Red Sox, and there's another team that have better odds than the Yankees. I
Oh,
forgot who the other team
jeez.
was.
The Dodgers,
Red
probably,
Sox.
right?
It is the Dodgers. Yes, it is the Dodgers that have
Crazy,
better odds than the
crazy.
Yankees. But the Mets have the best odds, and the aforementioned teams over there. Imagine he goes to Boston. Oh my God.
Well, I know it's a business, Rich, but can you imagine the Steinbrenner's not signing this guy? I mean, the fans would be because Aaron Judge is a legend, basically.
Yes.
This is a guy who could be the captain on the Yankees, who will get his 99 retired if he stays. But can you imagine losing this guy? This is
I
larger
couldn't.
than life, Rich.
I couldn't.
This would be horrendous.
It would be detrimental right now for the New York Yankees to lose a guy like Aaron Judge because the Yankees always throughout history, and again, I'm never a Yankee hater, but they've always throughout history had those guys, man. And he was primed and ready to take over number two's position as that Yankee. And
Hmm.
you know, the Yankees have to do whatever possible to hang on to him. And I think Derek Jeter's got something going on with the Yankees, and
Hmm.
I think you're going to see him. I don't know. I just have a feeling you're going to see him become more involved in the organization at some point. Being he's not involved with the Marlins anymore, and just that cryptic message he left, on the field that day when the Derek Jeter day. And if it was up to a guy like Derek Jeter, there'd be no way in hell they'd let a kid named like Aaron Judge go. But like I said to you last time, Aaron Judge wife, and Aaron Judge definitely has a wife that knows the difference between 30 million and 50 million. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what I
And
don't know what's. I'd hate to see him leave New York. I rib you, and I know I break your balls. I don't
mhm,
want Aaron Judge to. I want listen. I want Pete Alonso and Aaron Judge to own the city for the next. Aaron Judge is owning the city this year, but Pete Alonso may not be too far behind him because if you look at I kind of pulled up their just to break your chops a little bit. I kind of pulled up their stats and where they are
mhm,
at their current careers. Now, if you would be so kind to have me
mhm,
just give you a couple of things. Pete Alonso. Okay, now Pete Alonso, first baseman for New York Mets. Aaron Judge has been playing 3 more years than him. So
mhm,
let's just put that, Aaron Judge has 3 more seasons under his belt. Pete Alonso right now has 2,212 plate appearances. Okay.
okay.
Now he's got 143 home runs. He's got 200 and he's batting 259, 370 RBIs. He's got an OPS of 850. And he's just slugging 532. That's in I'm sorry. That's in 1,928 at bats.
Mhm,
Okay. Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge, 2,600 at bats, 218 home runs, 284 batting average, and 494 RBIs.
mhm,
Now, if you want to add up stats and if you want to project and this, that, and the other thing, both of these gentlemen are on their way to being great New York baseball players and a
sure.
representation of both of their teams for years to come. Because
Mhm,
Pete Alonso has said it on more than one occasion. He wants no place else the New York Mets to play for. And if Aaron Judge was to say to the New York Yankees, just make me an offer that I can accept, and he could be a Yankee for the rest of his career too. These two
mhm,
guys can do great things. And look, this season is no comparison. He's just better than any player. But the average, the numbers do kind of line up a little bit, with these guys. They're home run hitters, they're RBI guys.
sure.
So they're going to be around for a long time. Even with listen, have a nice habit of 60 something home runs. Pete Alonso's got 143 and Aaron Judge is 218. So it's not
Yeah.
it's not too far behind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I definitely know that, Rich, and I'm swimming in the money because I had both on my fantasy baseball team. So having a Judge and the polar bear was pretty good, huh?
Oh, you're damn right. Now this kid, Aaron Judge. Now, Aaron Judge, you know about him. He's your
Yep.
guy.
Mhm.
He's your Yankee.
Mhm.
Now, I just want to, I got Met fans out there that are saying to me, why are you talking about this guy? Listen, guys, the guy's doing great things. All right. And it would be your advantage to take a little trip in a Met fan of mine and let's just see what this kid has done, in his lifetime as far as a baseball player and just an athlete in general. The kid's 6'7", 282 pounds. He's
Mhm.
from Linden, California. And that's going to mean a lot to people when I tell you a couple more statistics. Okay.
Close to San Francisco, right? Linden,
Very close to
California.
San
Mhm.
Francisco.
Mhm.
This year he's making $10.2 million. Okay.
Mhm.
Great salary for a guy that's hitting 62 home runs. I don't know about that.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, 2017, he was the MVP. He was the came in second in the MVP, and he was the rookie of the year.
Mhm.
Great. I don't think there's many people that have done that. Now let's go back to college baseball. Now the guy was a three athlete. He was a three-letter athlete in college. He played baseball. Okay. He played football. He was a high-level wide receiver in football, and he was the center for the basketball team. He was recruited by Notre Dame, Stanford, UCLA, USC, all to play wide receiver slash tight end and have a very lucrative career in the NFL.
Hmm.
But as well as he got offers to go play basketball as well. But basketball was his third sport. But he was very highly touted to go to college. But to go to the College of Fresno, and I don't know if you knew this, but he chose to go to the College of Fresno after back in 2013. Do you know who he was drafted by?
Uh, hmm. The
This is
Mets?
an this is a stump. Is this a stump? The E-Dubs?
Wow. I'm gonna say no. Okay, I'm gonna say the Dodgers.
Okay, I got it. Let me get my notes here, but I'm pretty sure he was drafted by the Oakland A's. I'm pretty
Oh.
sure.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. Let me go back to that for a second. Let me go back to that for a second, okay? All right, he was let's see, Patty and Wayne Judge. By the time he was adopted, he's a huge fan of the Giants growing up. three-sport athlete, Notre Dame. I'm pretty sure in 2017, I got to get my notes together, that he was drafted beforehand. So he chose to go to Fresno State and play college. Sorry, I got to get my notes together. It will come to me. But instead of being drafted by this team, he chose to go to college in Fresno State, where he won many, many, many accolades as a baseball player. You name it, he won the accolade. I mean, he was an insane, insane player. So he obviously made the right choice. And out of college, I know, I think he won an NCAA division title, and he won many WAC awards. So this guy's been a pretty good player for a really, really long time. And I don't know, this is the guy that the Yankees should hang on to for the rest of his career.
And you know how the Yankees drafted him, right, Rich?
What's that?
The Yankees got a draft pick from the Cleveland Indians because Cleveland signed Nick Swisher as a free agent. So the Yankees used that draft pick they got from the Indians to draft Aaron Judge. Believe it or not.
It's funny, it's funny you said that was going to be my stump EDUBBS.
Oh, I got the answer already, huh? Look at that.
That's good. Yes, they got him as a pick from after losing the pick for Nick Swisher.
Yes, believe that, huh? Jeez.
Oh, here we go. The A's drafted him in the 31st round in 2010, but he opted to go to Fresno State, where he won numerous College Player of the Year awards and many other MVPs as well. So, yeah, he was drafted by the A's first, and then he chose to go to college.
So why wouldn't he? That's the thing. Why wouldn't he stay in the Bay Area if he's so fond on the Bay Area? Why wouldn't he sign with the A's?
Maybe he wanted to go to college. Maybe I don't know. But, he was, obviously he was drafted in the first round as the 32nd pick by the Yankees. What's funny, too, is like they say a little side notes on like, how these some of these players have like, stuff that they look at every day. And he's supposedly he's got the number 179 on the lock screen on his cell phone. So that he looks at every day. And 179 is his batting average the first year he came up with the Yankees. And he keeps that on his phone as a memory as I never want to bat 179 again.
And he hit a home run in his first at bat too.
Yes, he did. He hit a home run in his first at bat. He's married to a pretty good looking young lady too. Married to what's her name? I'm looking at her name as Brexit. It doesn't matter. Her name is Cash Money Judge right now. That's her name. Cash Money Judge. It doesn't matter what her maiden name is, but she's obviously going to have a big big thing on his decision of what team or how much money he makes too. So listen, bottom line, this guy, Aaron Judge, you can't say anything bad about him. I really wish him the best of luck in this. And I really hope he does it.
Well, he's going to win the MVP, Rich. You know that, right?
Without a doubt. I know I had some reservations a couple of weeks ago, maybe months ago, but without a doubt. And if he doesn't win, if there was an MVP for the entire league, he should win it.
Yeah. Let me just talk about Judge for the season that he's having. I mean, he's played the season without a slump, Rich. I mean, the guy's gone hitless in only 45 of the games. He played 146 games. Only 101 games he got a hit in, Rich. That's a good percentage, And he's never gone more than 2 games without a hit this season. So he's never had a slump. Can you imagine that? I looked it up, Rich. Never had a 3-game hitless streak this year. Only 2-game hitless streaks.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah. He's had 11 multi-home run games.
Okay.
He's hitting 367, 11 homers, 68 RBIs with runners in scoring position.
Wow.
DJ LeMahieu, when he got injured, they moved to bat first? Aaron Judge. 11 home runs, 22 RBIs, 430 batting average in that hole. And then swinging at the first pitch, 20 home runs, 44 RBIs, and a 352 average. So let me tell you, Rich, the easiest $100 I ever made, I went on FanDuel on Tuesday night, the first game against the Pirates. And I put a $2 bet that the first pitch that Aaron Judge sees, he will hit either a double, triple home run. I turned that $2 bet into $100, Rich.
Get out of here.
The first pitch he saw, a line drive down the left field line, he got a double. So
nice.
The analytics are right there. I was looking at the swinging at the first pitch,
Yeah.
And look at this, Rich. In September, he's batting .476, 9 home runs, 15 RBIs. Damn. Ohtani in September is .288, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs in meaningless games. So this guy is having could be one of the best seasons in American League history. And I say American League history because nobody can compare to Barry Bonds' 2004 season where he walked 268 times or something like that.
No,
that was the best season in baseball history. But this season by Aaron Judge could be the best season in American League history.
Oh yeah, well, without a doubt. I mean, again, the guy's on fire. The guy's on
He's on
fire.
fire. And you know what? We spoke about the Yankees in August, Rich. The Yankees were really struggling in July and August, but you know what? They picked it up. They've won 18 out of their last 28 games. Their magic number to win the division is 6 games. And the Jays and the Rays are beating up each other, and that magic number decreases by the day. So the Yankees are in pretty good shape. They won their 90th game the other day for the 65th time in their history, which is pretty good. Luis Severino came back the other night, pitched against the Pirates. I mean,
Okay.
albeit the Pirates, but he threw 64 pitches over 5 innings, struck out 6, walked 1, gave up 1 run. The positive was that the velocity was the best since April. So
Okay.
that's the key heading into October. You need the rotation has to be set. I mean, Cole's going to pitch game 1. Then you're going to have Severino, Cortez, and James Talion. Talion
Okay.
is 13-5 with a 3.90 ERA. Cortez is 10-4 with a 2.67. So the Yankees have a pretty good rotation if they stay healthy into October. The bullpen's looking better. Zach Britton joined the team yesterday, and Scott Efros, who they acquired from the Cubs, he's back. So they're getting some key pieces back in the bullpen. I mean, the Yankees are a much different team than they were in August. Oswaldo Cabrera and Harrison Bader have injected some life into the offense. I know Bader has been there maybe 2 games, but he did have a play just now where I was watching, Rich, where he almost got picked off at first base and the ball got past the first baseman, so he got all the way to third base. So he's a good player. I mean, Andrew Benintendi was the outfielder they needed, but Bader was out there. They made the trade, and I think Bader has more speed than Benintendi. But you got Stanton hitting, Gleyber Torres is starting to hit, and of course there's Aaron Judge as well. So if this keeps up, Rich, I think the Yankees can go well deep into October. But of course, you know what the roadblock is? The mighty Astros. If Judge can continue to carry the team like he's been carrying the team the whole year, Rich. Even the slumps, he's been always there. The guy's gonna have to go to a chiropractor at the end of this year. His back must be killing him. He's pulling this. I've never seen this before from one player, Rich, in a 162 game season. Have you? Crazy.
No.
Crazy.
It's. I just hope as a baseball fan he could just continue to succeed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully, like we say in October, every team starts 0-0. All the stats start to 0 again. So hopefully, facing some better pitching like Justin Verlander, for instance, Alex
Yeah.
Manoah, Toronto, some good pitchers out there. Hopefully it continues, but I think the Yankees are in pretty good shape, and having the 3 days off at the end of the season, if they win, with the second best record, having those 3 days off and avoiding the wild card, because the wild card's different this year. It's 3 games in the one stadium. There's no
Right.
travel, so yeah. So you don't want to play in that wild card. That's for sure.
No. That's no. You don't want to play. No, that's what I'm going through right now with my Mets. I mean, I'll go into my Mets in a couple minutes. Let you finish with the Yankees, but that's
Sure.
I don't want that wild card spot. If I'm being a Mets fan, I don't want the wild card spot.
Yep, exactly. I hear you. But the Yankees are looking pretty right now. They're winning tonight, 5-4 against the Red Sox. Even though our boy Garrett Cole gave up the proverbial 3-run home run, which left a bitter taste in my mouth when we went on live before on the show. But
Right.
they keep on winning. Things will be looking good in the Bronx. I have a feeling.
Yeah. Let's hope so. Like who do you don't want to see in the first round? If you're
You know what,
a Yankee,
Rich? It's the playoffs.
right?
Every team you don't want to see. There's a reason why teams get to the playoffs, Rich.
I just have this I have this thing for the Cardinals, man. I don't want to see the Cardinals in the playoffs.
It's
I don't.
crazy. How about the Braves? We want to see the Mets and Braves in the playoffs?
You know what? I'm all right. We play them all the time. Anything could happen. The
Mhm.
Mets and the Braves. It is what it is. I mean, we see them all the time. Cardinals. The Cardinals are a team just like I always say about the Giants. Now, I mean, obviously
Mhm.
not this year, but the Cardinals and the Giants are just like two teams that through history. These teams, they get into the playoffs, they rebuild or they restart or they get star players and they just find themselves into a playoff as a wild card and they win World Series. I just that's the team that kind of worries me in my National League division is the
Well,
Cardinals.
yeah, I want to talk to you about the Giants. Into the season, you had high hopes for the Giants. A lot of people had high hopes for the Giants, and I think they're probably one of the most disappointing teams in baseball besides the Chicago White Sox.
I mean, they're playing on the five. They're playing on the 500 baseball. I know that. I mean,
Hmm.
but is anybody? The Dodgers are running away with that division. Like it's the running away with it. And I think that the Dodgers at this point, I mean, I even think that they're trying to kick back to like kind of like, all right, let's just like chill out a little bit, not go, go all out. But they just keep winning and winning. They're seven
Yeah,
and three of their last 10. They won seven
yeah.
out of their last 10.
But you know what though, Rich? You know what the Dodgers don't have, which other teams do have? A
What's that?
closer. Craig Kimbrell is not going to close for that team in the
No, he's not.
playoffs, Rich.
No, he's not. That's true. That's true. But when you got a lineup like the Dodgers, I mean, they could just hammer, and they hammer the baseball all night. Sometimes just the other side just can't keep up with as many hits as that team gets.
Maybe Joey Gallo will be a hero in October, right?
I doubt it. I, you
He
know
has
what?
hit some home runs though, Rich. He's doing pretty good actually.
Yeah, how,
He's done better at the Dodgers than he did in the Bronx, that's for sure.
listen, I don't want this scenario into any stretch of the imagination because my Mets wouldn't be involved. But imagine the Yankees Dodgers World Series. Joe Gallo hits a walk-off home run to win this Game 7 to beat the Yankees in the World
Oh,
Series.
jeez. Oh my
He
God.
pinch hits for like I don't pinch hits for like Mookie Betts because he slides into third and he like stubs his toe or something. He can't go in.
Oh,
So he pinch hits for Mookie Betts and he hits a walk-off to win the World Series. How fitting would that be?
just like when the trumpets are blowing at City Field and Diaz comes in and gives up a home run, like the Kirk Gibson home run, like a dramatic home run. That would be so dramatic, right? That
Eric, I was just talking. I mean, are you is anything else going on with the Yankees before I get into my
well,
Nets?
the Yankees just won the game, so another
Good,
win on the Yankees.
good.
Magic number down to 5. I don't know what the Rays and Jays are doing down there in Tampa, but whatever happens, happens. It's 5 games now, the Magic number, so it's getting there.
Okay, and like you said, but both our teams have to win. We have to win the division. That's just
Definitely, definitely.
that we have to win the division. All right, now on to my Mets. My Mets. I'm all right with it. Listen, like you. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm just excited that they're. I know this is going to sound like a loser mentality or a defeatist mentality, but I am just excited to be watching relevant baseball into September, going into
Hmm.
October. I
Hmm.
really am. And you know what's funny? You were just talking about the trumpets. Me and Aiden were talking the other night. I don't know. We were talking if there's playoffs or World Series. Hopefully. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch any of these games with anybody else except for him.
Wow.
The anxiety that he
Hmm.
gets in these big games, and the anxiety that it's going to be. This house is just going to be for a month. While these playoffs are going on, this
Hmm.
house is going to be such high strung, high anxiety between me and my son. My wife and my other son Jack are not going to want to be around us at this time. But it's just, you know what though? I guess, act like you've been there before. I guess, right? And we've been there before, but not in a long time. The Mets right now are a game and a half up on the Atlanta Braves. Again, just keep continuing to win. The Mets and the Braves in the last 10 games are both 6-4. They both won 6 out of the last 10 games. Now, right now, you got the Phillies beating the Braves right now, 9-1. I never
Wow.
thought I'd hear myself say this, but thank you, Philadelphia. And isn't Philadelphia the home of one of these guys that's hitting over 40 home runs and is still 20 home runs behind the leader? Kyle Schwarber's got 40 home runs this year.
It's crazy, right?
And he's in second place. The Phillies
There's
actually
one
still
more
have to
thing,
start.
Rich. I want to jump in. So the
Yeah,
Phillies are 82 and 67. So they
yeah.
were 82 and 67 in 1980, won the World Series. 82 and 67 in 2008, won the World Series, and 82 and 67 right now. So we'll see what happens with the Phillies.
Well, I got to tell you something, Eric. It's 2022. All right. That's the past. This is the present. So the Mets and the Braves. We're talking about the Phillies because the Phillies might eke in. Now, the Mets. Mets the other night. Again, business as usual with the bullpen. Watching the game. Drew Smith comes in. Bang. Grand slam. Mets lose the game. So that's where we are with the Mets. Their middle relief is still hurting us a little bit. But, we're going to try and figure that out with guys like Tyler McGill and maybe Peterson, even though Peterson hasn't been showing us anything either as a starter. I think he's got something like a 12 something ERA in his last bunch of games. But he's not helping us out much anyway. But, we still got our guys, DeGrom, Scherzer, Carrasco going out the other night, had a decent start. We're going to keep banging away with those guys, Bassett. We're going to keep going, grinding away with our pitchers. Diaz, Diaz, the last 4 games, he's got 2 saves. I think he had a blown save the other night. But listen, everybody gets a blown save.
Hmm.
He's been pitching well, and surprisingly, one of the positions I've been attacking as a Met fan has actually been pretty productive for us lately. Listen, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form talking about that anchor named James McCann. James McCann is the worst catcher in baseball, and he needs to get on the first plane, train, or automobile out of New York right now. Thomas Nito in the last 7 games is batting .423 with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. That is
Wow.
all I need from my catcher position. And I need you to call a good game. I need you to keep Max Scherzer under control. I need you to, when Jacob DeGrom says, like, maybe I'm feeling a little tinge here, talk him out of it. I need you to call a game. This is big boy baseball we're going into, guys. I need a catcher that's going to take care of my pitching staff. And it's got to be Thomas Nito. Listen, he's hitting much better than McCann. I wouldn't even drop McCann out of the free. I don't know. Yeah, I guess you can't do that. You need 2 catches going in, but I
Hmm.
just can't. I can't stand James McCann. He's been kind of like a. I was kind of excited for him to come, but after seeing how he's been playing over the last 2 years, I can't wait for him to get the hell out of here.
Wow.
So the Mets right now are at 151 games. They got 11 games left. Now in those 11 games, we've got a pretty. Let's go over it. We got 11 games left. Okay, starts tonight at 9:40 in Oakland. Okay.
Hmm.
Then, after a couple of games with Oakland, we get a day off, and then we got 2 with the Marlins. Now, listen, end of the season, Marlins could go either way. The Marlins could want to say, fuck the Mets. Let's like gear up and let's kick their ass and let's make it harder for them in the playoffs. We know they're in the playoffs. Let's just make it harder for them. Or maybe the Marlins are saying we hate the Braves. Who knows? They're baseball players. They're professionals. They're going to play the baseball game. I don't know. Miami, you could either come or go with those. Then after Miami, you get a nice day off. Maybe they'll hang out in the sun for a little while. Maybe they'll go to the Clevelander or something if it's still open, hang out.
Hmm.
No, get the fuck back on that plane because you guys are going slightly north to Atlanta. Now, these games right there, big games in Atlanta. This is probably this is going to determine where the Mets are going to be win the division. They are
Sure.
going. It's in Atlanta. This is going to decide who's going to be the wild card and who's going to be the game winner. Because then the Mets. Listen, the Mets end in with Washington at home. Washington could come and go. Washington's kind of cashed it in. So I'm not really. I'm expecting those last 2 games to Washington be like, whatever, whoever's got it, got it. So the last 3 games in Atlanta, that's the thing that's going to be on my calendar as must-see baseball for a Mets fan because the Mets have to win those games in Atlanta. And for the Mets to win those games in Atlanta, these guys are going to have to come to play. DeGrom, I can't believe DeGrom got a no decision that night. 13 strikeouts, no decision. What's going on?
Crazy.
0-1 right now. He's got 23 strikeouts in his last 2 starts. That's pretty damn good. Carrasco 2-0. He's got 21 Ks in his last 16. Scherzer had a perfect, not no hitter. He had a perfect 6 innings the other night.
Hmm.
Perfect, and they pulled him out. I don't know if he wanted to come out, if he's tired, whatever. Guy had 9 Ks over 6 innings. That's great. And you got Bassett. Bassett's 1-1 with 10 Ks in those last couple of games. Now, that's going to be where the bread and butter is. Those guys have to pitch well coming into the playoffs. And my boys over there, as I always tell you, my 2 favorite Mets over here, my boy Alonso and Lindor. Last 15 games, they've been going between them in the last 15 games. They have 9 home runs and 25 RBIs between the 2 of them. Not too bad over the last 15 games. They've been carrying the team okay.
Hmm.
One big thing that's been missing in our lineup that we need to get back quick, and that's Starling Marte. Starling Marte has been killing it for the Mets this year. He's been out, and they're saying he's going to try and make it back for the Oakland A series. I don't know if he's in the lineup for tonight, but he's a guy that's been stealing bases. He's been getting big hits too. And it's not like he's been getting like these little dinker hits, or hits in like the 2nd or 3rd inning. No, he's been getting big hits. He's been hitting that 8th and 9th inning double. He's been stealing that base. He's been getting these guys riled up. He's been making the plays in the outfield. Starling Marte needs to come back healthy, and he has to come back healthy for this Mets team to pile on the runs and to be successful. Brandon Nimmo just has to keep continuing to be Brandon Nimmo. He's going to be up and down, Brandon Nimmo. He's going to go through hot streaks. He's going to steal bases. He's going to play the field. He's going to go all out. He's going to occasionally steal a home run. But that's Brandon Nimmo, and that's what you're going to get, and I'll take him in center field. This guy's been a little bit of a slump. Now, I don't know if it's a good thing that he's in a slump or a bad thing, but Jeff McNeil was on pace to win the batting title. He's last couple of games, he's had a couple of offers, so he's always kind of he hasn't been playing too well in the last couple of games. But maybe
Hmm.
that's a good thing because his bat's gonna heat up. He swings at, and once playoff time comes around, he's gonna get himself back in gear and he's gonna be hitting. Bottom line is for my Mets right now, I can't be nothing but positive. I'm not going to pull no
Sure.
negativity about a loss from this team or a loss from that team. And I know all these teams, all these games matter. But the bottom line is the Mets are in the playoffs, whether it be a wild card, it's going to be a little bit harder for them, or whether winning the division. But I'm very proud of my New York Mets this year, dude. I really am. And it's Buck Showalter. And did you see what Buck Showalter did the other night? What's his name? I forgot who it was. It might have been Cano or somebody. They broke the record the other night for getting they got hit by pitches.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that's for the ball, right?
You see, yeah, he asked for the ball. Isn't that great? Hey, give me that.
Classic.
Instantaneously, he looked at he goes, give me that, give me that, give me that. Mets have been hitting more than anybody in the history of baseball in one season.
Crazy.
I don't know if that's just luck. I don't know if that's unluck. I don't know what it is. They hate the Mets, but bottom line is stop hitting Mets. Come on, man. I don't have anything on purpose, but
I love it, Rich, when a Met gets hit, the first camera angle goes right on Buck Showalter all the time. It's
dude,
funny. I
he
crack up.
gets so mad. He gets so
Hilarious.
mad. Yeah,
Hilarious.
that's
Yeah.
my that's my breakdown of the Mets. I mean, I got to be positive Met fan now. Positive, 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 because we are going to the playoffs and we are going to let's fucking go Mets. LFGM. I don't give a shit when anybody says they don't like the LFGM, but let's go and let's win a World Series. Let's go.
Wow. Let's have a
How do you
Subway
feel?
series,
How do
Rich.
you feel as a Yankee fan about somebody who's supposed to be there, hearing from me, who's somebody that's excited to be there? What do you think about my enthusiasm?
Well, it's funny because Ben posted a meme on Instagram. He said it's the first time since he's out of the womb. I said, dude, they made the World Series in 2015. You watched it. He said, it was only a joke because they don't get there. I think playoffs, Rich, correct?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Out of 60
2015
years,
was so
10
hard.
times. Yeah. Yep.
2015 was heartbreaking. 2000 was heartbreaking. 86 was great. That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
But
yeah.
whatever.
No doubt.
Anyway,
How old
so
were you in '86, Rich? How old were you in '86?
I was 14.
Wow.
I
So
was.
you were right.
It's funny. It's funny. I was 14. I'll tell a quick little story. I know I bring my
Sure.
dad up every once in a while. Me and my dad are sitting in my apartment in Queens, and I was a lunatic during this series.
Hmm.
My father being a cop wasn't home for some of the games, but I was the Houston Astros in the playoffs, and I
Mm.
watched every single game, and I had my heart in every single game. My dad happened to be home for that game, the Bill Buckner game, and
Mm.
was sitting there on the couch, and my dad being the Yankee fan that he is, excuse me, pardon me. Breaking my balls. They're never gonna do it. The Mets suck. Why are you even a Mets fan for? It's like, shut up, shut up. I'm 14 years old watching the game. And I'm like, Dad, I'm telling you, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. It's the Mets. I'm a 14-year-old big Mets fan. And sure as shit, ball goes under Buckner's legs. Like, I told you. I was so happy. My dad, listen,
Wow.
he was too because I was happy, but he had just like to break my balls. But yeah, I was 14 years old sitting in my living room. And I just remember the night they won the World Series too, man. I remember going outside and everybody was banging pots and pans and horns were beeping. And because remember, I grew up in Queens, so
Yeah.
it wasn't
Sure.
constant.
Sure.
For the most part, we were predominantly Met fans, but a
Hmm.
couple of Yankee fans sprinkled here and there. But yeah, I remember when they won the World Series, 1986, 14 years old. It was a very nice time. And I would like for my 17-year-old son to be able to feel what I felt back in 1986 this year because he wears his fandom on his sleeve as well. So it's definitely going to be an interesting run coming up.
Yeah, definitely. I look forward to a good playoffs. Don't forget, Rich. We'll go past Halloween basically with the World Series this year because of the stoppage, the work stoppage at the beginning of the season. So we might see a new Mr. November this year, huh?
Listen, you never know. And another thing I want to bring up about the Mets, the Mets' success is the Braves kind of cooled off a little bit,
Hmm.
which was good. I mean, you obviously knew that was going to come to a head. I mean, the Mets are 8-4 since the Cubs, Brewers, and Pirates series. The Mets have 8-4 with the Cubs, Brewers, and Pirates. Obviously they got swept by the Cubs listen, they got swept by the Cubs and they lost 1 to Pittsburgh. So I mean, they really didn't do too bad in that stint. Where the Braves, since the Mariners series, they've won 7 of 13 games. So
Yep.
it's kind of like the same. They're kind of like neck and neck a little bit with the Mets up by 1 game. But the Braves are just on a roll that no team has seen in a long time, and they were just unstoppable there for a while. And now they've come back to life, and we'll see what happens. Maybe those 3 games in Atlanta will be end in a nice sweep and break out the broom in Atlanta. So,
Well, they are winning 3-0 tonight, Rich. The Mets, they got the early lead out in Oakland. Kind of a
yeah.
weird interleague game this late in the season. I think it's a 3-game trip to Oakland, and then it's back home, if I'm not mistaken.
And you just reminded me that I got to put on the Met game here.
Ah.
So here we go. All right. So
I got one more tidbit about tonight's baseball action, Rich. Boston Red Sox pitcher tonight, Rich Hill, 42 years old, has never given up a home run to Barry Bonds and has never given a home run up to Aaron Judge. So he's faced both guys and never gave up a home run to either. But Judge did get a hit tonight, a single. So he was hitless last night. So he will start a new streak again, a new hitting streak, I guess. So go Aaron Judge.
Yeah. Rich Hill's 42, huh?
He's been around forever, Rich. I'm telling you, the guy. I guess when you're a lefty pitcher, you could pitch till the cows come home, basically, right?
Did he win? He won a World Series with the Dodgers, right?
I think he did. I think he did. Yeah.
I think, as a matter of fact, I think he had one of his best seasons, to date. I think with the Dodgers.
Yeah, he's been
Did
a
he
good
come close to
pitcher.
winning a Cy Young or something, Rich Hill?
When you're around that many years, Rich, there's some award you have to get, and stuff. But yeah, he pitched for a lot of teams: Cubs, Orioles, Red Sox, Indians, Angel. Even pitched with the Yankees. I don't remember that, but he pitched for the Yankees in 2014. I think he was a late season pickup and stuff. So he's pitched with the Mets too, Rich. So another one of those guys that pitched for both the Yankees and the Mets. Right, last year I think he pitched for the Mets.
Wow, Rich Hill pitched for. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, Rich Hill pitched for the Yankees. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, crazy, right? But yeah, guy's been around forever, and he's pitched with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 teams. Crazy. Wow. I'm just looking with the Red Sox 3 times though. He's been with the I guess when the Red Sox need a pitcher, they call Rich Hill, right? So
can you imagine that though? Wouldn't that be a great job if you're like just this guy like hanging out? You know what I mean? If you like, you were a good pitcher in the day, and you're just hanging out. Listen, even go back to like Vinny Testaverde, even like back in the day. You just like hanging out on the couch. It's like, yo, guys, listen, Rich. I know you're 40 years old, but we need a pitcher going into the playoffs. What do you think? Can you give it one more run?
It's crazy.
He takes his hand out of his pants. He's like, yeah, come on. I kind of think like that's what Vinny Testaverde did back in the day.
Remember that? Yeah, exactly. There's a name from the past. Good old Vinny Testaverde. Buccaneers quarterback who was colorblind. He threw didn't know what jersey he was throwing to, Rich.
Listen, Vinny Testaverde had a pretty damn good run with the Jets there, dude.
He did. I was at the game where he did that sneak. Remember that quarterback sneak he did in the playoffs? And I think he was tackled like on the 1 yard line, but they replay back then. It was a touchdown,
Yes,
Well, we made a nice segue into football, Rich, and I want to talk about week 2, if you don't mind.
Of course, man. Of course.
What a strange week it was. You got the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, Dolphins, Jets, Cardinals. The bad, Ravens, Browns, Raiders, and the ugly, Denver Broncos coach Nathaniel Hackett. So last season, there were 61 games in which a team won by 20-plus points and 0 games where a team came back from being down that much. This past Sunday, within a span of a few hours, there were two such scenarios. And the funny thing is, those 2 comebacks by Miami and Arizona might be overshadowed by what the Jets did. So the Ravens had the game locked up, or did they? 3 touchdowns of 75 yards or more, including a 79-yard scamper by Lamar Jackson in video game mode, nonetheless. Yeah. Baltimore led 35-14 going into the fourth quarter. 2 or 3 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter, including the nail in the coffin with 15 seconds left. According to ESPN, it was the first 21-point fourth quarter comeback in 12 years. That's 711 games with teams trailing by 21 points or more, resulted all of them in losses since 2010. The most remarkable stats are Baltimore averaged 8.8 yards per play, had no turnovers, had a special team score, and lost the game. Oh,
Wow.
it gets better though, Rich. Later in the afternoon, the Cardinals fell behind 20-0 to the Raiders. A patient Kyler Murray basically bought time since the defense could not keep up with his speed. 2 touchdowns, two-point conversions, including one with 0 left on the clock, forces overtime. Defense takes over from there. 2 Hunter Renfrow fumbles in the overtime, with the last one resulting in a touchdown by the Cardinals defense. Cardinals win that game.
Go
Okay,
back to
yeah,
let's slow down a little bit. Let's go back to the Dolphins Ravens game
yeah.
for a second. I just wanted to point out something about this is going to be really hard for me to say as a Jet fan,
Sure.
but I think right now, just by looking at Tyreek Hill and Waddle, is that the best 1-2 combination in football right now?
It's crazy, but look at Tua, Rich. Like we said at the
Tua
beginning
threw
of the season,
6 touchdowns, dude.
six
469 yards.
it's one of the most prolific games in history, Rich. There's not too many games that a quarterback had. And this is the guy that we were question mark. Is he good? Is he bad? I mean, is he the real deal? Nobody knew about this guy, but you know what?
Tariq Hill, between
Yeah.
Tariq Hill and Waddle, both they had 22 receptions for almost 400 yards. 400
Yep.
of the 469 almost came from these two guys. Now you talk about tandems. Listen, Tua showed something, man. He did. I mean, maybe Tua's just like a late bloomer. Maybe he's the guy in Miami. I don't know, but those 3 guys really showed something in that game. And Jackson and Lamar Jackson was literally, like you said, like a video game. I mean,
Oh my God!
guy was 21 to 29. He had 3 touchdowns, dude, and he had a rushing touchdown.
Yep.
I mean, it's Mike Andrews had a big game for them too, and then that play at the end there was just, what was that? Tyreek Hill that caught that?
Yeah. Or was it Waddle? I don't remember who caught the last touchdown, but it's just crazy. Only 7 quarterbacks have had more yards and passing, 6 touchdowns in a game in NFL history. But it's kind of like the pitcher that throws a no-hitter sometimes, that obscure guy. He pitches a no-hitter and then you don't hear from him ever again. I mean, Matt Flynn of the Packers, 6 touchdowns in a game. So remember Matt Flynn? Yeah. So
yeah, but you know what though? But Tua is not Matt Flynn. Tua
no, not at all,
you know what
Rich.
I mean?
But
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
But Tua's a guy. Tua's the guy that's going to be there for a little while. I understand you get these guys that come in and have these freak games. You know what I mean? But
the guy's come into his own. I think it's crazy. But like I said, we're 2 games into the season, and the Dolphins and Bills have a big game this weekend. 2-0 teams down in Miami. It's going to be a good game to watch, right?
the Bills now. The Bills just that's enough. Again, I'm a Jet fan, and I'm looking at the standings now. The Bills and the Dolphins are both 2-0.
Yep.
The Bills, he threw 4 touchdown passes again. Stephon Diggs had three touchdown passes. The guy is tough as nails. Why, as a Jet fan, do I got to spend my entire 20 years of my Jets fandom looking down the barrel of Tom Brady? And now I'm going to have to spend another probably 15 years looking down the barrel of Josh Allen. I just, whatever.
And
I guess
Tua.
it is.
And Tua.
Well, I guess and Tua. And Mac Jones, I don't know. I think Patriots, Mac Jones is just going to be whatever. But yeah, the Bills looked phenomenal. I mean, the Bills looked amazing last week. I don't know if you want to go into that game for a couple of minutes, but there really isn't too much to say about that, as the Bills just completely just dismantled them. So,
well, did Tennessee show up in that game, Rich?
Ryan Tannehill is their quarterback. Listen, I don't know. I don't care what anybody says. Ryan Tannehill is not winning you any football games.
Even Derrick Henry looks like he regressed a little bit.
Did Derrick Henry regress, or did Derrick Henry just say, listen, I know he shouldn't be saying that, but did Derrick Henry regress, or is Derrick Henry just saying, oh my God, get me the hell out of here?
Wow. This is a team that, they were in the playoffs last year and stuff. And I just don't, it's like Mike Vrabel, I think his job's on the line right now.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like crazy.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
100%. There's no doubt about it. The Bills defense also had 2 interceptions and 2 sacks. They got the best defense in football too. So when you got the best defense in football going against one of the worst quarterbacks in football, it's funny. I saw a meme the other day. You know how these stupid memes Aiden showed me. It's like these two stuffed dummies. One's dressed up like Ryan Tannehill, and the other
Hmm.
one's dressed up like Kirk Cousins. And it's
Mhm.
like they're fighting to see who's the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Well, it's funny, Rich, because Kirk Cousins had a horrible game against the Eagles, and if you look at Kirk Cousins' stats, he doesn't play well in Monday in night games. It's crazy. This week
Was
they
he
play
fine?
Detroit. I guarantee you he throws for 400 yards against Detroit this weekend. But night games, no, Kirk Cousins doesn't show up.
Yeah, I mean, but he's still got to show up though. He's a professional quarterback. You know what I mean? I understand that he's bad at night games, but he threw 3 interceptions, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It just doesn't make sense how some guys can play well all the time and other guys don't like night games or national TV games. You know what? Go play the Lions every weekend and the 1 o'clock Sunday games, which nobody cares about, and throw for 500 yards, right?
Wait a second. The 1 o'clock Sunday games. My Jets always play on the 1 o'clock Sunday games. Speaking about my Jets, I want to pontificate about my Jets for a minute here.
Sure.
The Jets played a football game on Sunday that
Hmm.
I thought was over in the first half.
Hmm. Wow.
Honestly, I
Hmm.
thought it was over. Flacco didn't look too good. It's like whatever. I'm kind of like pushing forward until I see Zach Wilson. And do I even
Hmm.
think Zach Wilson's going to be good? I don't know. Zach Wilson, we'll see. But Flacco came out in that second quarter. It's that second half, and I don't know what the hell happened to him. Guy threw 4 touchdown passes. Okay. Now,
Crazy.
the Jets came back in this football game. Now, the Jets came back in this football game against a really good Browns defense.
Hmm.
So it's not like the Jets came back against some shitty defense that just gave them up. Listen, they got confirmed killers on that defense over there. They had a good defense, and the Jets came back. Now, I mentioned something the other day, and I think I spoke a little too highly when I said this about a future Hall of Famer on the Jets, but I'm telling you right now, we have a future number one wide receiver for a long time to come. That kid, Garrett Wilson, looked, sounded, and felt the part of a number one wide receiver for a New York football team on Sunday's football game.
Yep.
I don't know if you got to watch any of that game, being that I think the games were on at the same time, the Bucks game.
Hmm. Hmm. No, I
But
didn't see any of the Jets game. No.
Eric, Eric, I know you're a big Jets fan or whatever, but I do
Sure.
yourself a favor, and I know you're a big sports guy. You'd appreciate this. Go back and look at this, the kind of day this kid had, and look at it. Like I could tell you his
Hmm.
numbers. He had 8 receptions, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns in that day. Okay, now it really does. I mean, those are great numbers and all, but that kid was all over the field, dude. He was in people's faces. He didn't look like a rookie wide receiver. He
Wow.
looks like a guy that's going to be a wide receiver for the Jets for a long time to come. And I'm just, God willing, we picked the right guy in Zach Wilson, and the two of them could grow together.
Mm.
I need that to happen. And Corey
Wow.
Davis is going to be Corey Davis. He had, listen, Corey Davis had 2 catches, but listen, Corey Davis had 2 catches for 83 goddamn yards, all right, for a
Hmm.
touchdown. So those are 2 big catches. He also has to catch the football, though, man. He's another one. Big dropped passes. Big passes. These guys, they're dropping passes all over the NFL. Why not drop passes on my Jets? But Corey Davis has to stop holding onto the ball. Brees Hall showed something, too. Brees Hall had a good game. Listen, he
Yeah.
had a touchdown reception. I mean, he had a good game as well.
Hmm.
So I don't know. And like I said, this they went against a Browns team that I was bad mouthing Jacoby Brissett, but he's actually keeping them in these games. Well, Nick
Yeah,
Chubb
but
Nick Chubb had 3 touchdown passes also. So him and Kareem Hunt are just but with the two of them together. I mean, separately they're really good running backs, but together they make up just they catch passes. They just I don't know. Their running game is pretty hard to stop. But and Clowney and Clowney and Garrett both had sacks. So all in all, it was a very, very, very exciting Jets win. Jets win 31-30 in an amazing game that I watched, and it was amazed how they came back.
an amazing last 2 minutes of the game too, huh?
Oh my God! That between that game and the Dolphin game I was watching it with a Dolphin fan. It's funny. I was watching it with a Dolphin fan because I go over to my
Oh,
buddy.
jeez.
I went over to my buddy Scott's house to watch the
Hmm.
games. And
Yep.
I've been doing it for years, and all the time he's got his friend Joe, who's a diehard Miami Dolphins fan,
Oh,
and
wow.
he's got the 4 TVs going. And the Steelers game was going. The Steelers suck, but whatever. The
Hmm.
Steelers game was going, and me and him are in the back watching the other 2 TVs. Dolphins win, Jets win. I turn around, I look at Joe, and I say, "Listen, Joe, I'm not going to say this too often in my life, but good win." And he looked at me and says, "Good win." That's the first time we weren't playing each other, but the both of us watched our teams pull out some pretty sick wins, and it wasn't
Yeah,
against each other.
it's crazy because it was the first time like the Giants, Yankees, Jets and Mets won on the same day in like 13 years or something like that. So
Oh yeah,
good
yeah,
good wins for everybody on Sunday, huh?
yeah, absolutely.
Except the Indianapolis Colts. Not a good win for that. Not a good game for them at all. 8 years in a row losing in Jacksonville. I mean, what gives, right? Crazy.
I'm eating crow on this because obviously I thought the Colts were going to be really good.
And,
I
yeah,
mean,
and
Matt
not only
Ryan took
that,
three interceptions.
the Colts have been shut out by the Jaguars 3 times in the last 5 years.
But it's still, I mean, you still got to play the team in front of you. I mean, I don't know if there's any lore or I know that there's numbers that mean like you said before, Kirk Cousins doesn't pass well in the dark or
Hmm.
whatever.
Hmm.
But 24-0 to the Jaguars. I mean, they have again the best, supposedly the best player in football right now.
Right.
He had 20 something. Yeah, what do you have? He didn't have too many yards at all.
Nope. Nope.
Hold on a
Nothing.
second. Hold on a second. My son
Oh.
Aiden is coming in with breaking news. What do you got,
Oh
kid?
boy.
Breaking. It's Mets baseball.
Mets baseball.
Keith Hernandez is out of the broadcast booth for the rest of the regular season after a fall in New York City. He's having shoulder surgery next week.
Did you hear that? Keith Hernandez
Wow.
is going to be on the
breaking
DL
news. That's crazy.
after a
Crazy.
fall. Aiden, thank you so much
Was
for
he
joining
drunk?
the podcast. This
Was
is
he
Aiden,
drunk?
who I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. This is my son. He's gonna dabble every once in a while until he gets a good little spot on here. But this kid, if you want to talk about a Mets fan, this kid's the biggest Met fan I know. So Aiden, thank you so much.
Thanks, Aiden.
Yep.
What's Keith Hernandez not doing in Oakland though, right? He should be in Oakland right now, right? Or is it
Keith,
too long of a trip for him, huh?
yeah, listen, you know as well as I do. They called up Keith Hernandez and said, "Keith, where are you? How come you're not on the plane?" He's like, "Oakland? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not going to Oakland." That's exactly what happened. He had a dinner date with like Boomer Esiason or something in the city or something. That's where he slipped.
I bet if it was San Francisco, he'd say yes, but Oakland, no, right? And they're only separated by a couple of miles, right?
Exactly.
Speaking of the Bay Area and San Francisco, Jimmy Garoppolo has a job now, huh? Jeez, he was the forgotten man in the preseason. Wasn't even practicing or given a playbook or anything. And look at this, he's the quarterback for the rest of the year in San Francisco.
Yeah, how fitting. I mean, I feel bad for this kid, man. I
Did you
mean,
see the injury, Rich?
oh
Gruesome
my
injury,
God,
gruesome.
it was
Yep.
terrible. The kid at the
Mhm.
point, listen, at the point he was 2 for 3 with 30 yards. I mean, he was on his way to having a good game too. I feel bad for him when something like that happens to these young guys. You gotta feel for them. But on the opposite end of the spectrum was he on the sidelines, Garoppolo going, "Oh my God, I can't believe. Are you hurt? Are you okay? Please be hurt. Please be hurt. Are you
Yeah,
okay?
well,
Please be
but
hurt."
Garoppolo's not chopped liver, Rich. I mean, he took the Niners to the Super Bowl in 2019 and last year to the NFC Championship game. And they're kind of like blackballing this guy. They want him out of San Francisco for some reason, but they decided to keep him. And look at that! Isn't it great having a backup quarterback to slip in as Jimmy Garoppolo would be? I mean, if Tom Brady gets hurt, what happens to the Buccaneers? Nothing. They lose 10 games, 11 games. But now Garoppolo steps in. That's a luxury to have.
Oh, you're damn right it is. Absolutely. You're damn right it is. I mean, listen, you don't always want to be the backup quarterback. I mean, but if you can make a life being a backup quarterback and a good one, you never know. You might get your shot. And Garoppolo didn't want to be a backup quarterback, though.
No, he didn't. But you know what? Now he's got the job. He's got 15 weeks as the quarterback for the 49ers. So, and it's good for him too, because maybe they could trade him in the offseason. Maybe he will go to Tampa Bay. I said Jared Goff, whatever. Maybe Garoppolo goes to Tampa Bay. Maybe Lamar Jackson goes to Tampa Bay as a free agent. So, there's a lot of good draft crop of quarterbacks coming out next year too. So there's a lot of good quarterbacks going to be moving this offseason, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I'm not so. Listen, you talk about the quarterbacks coming out in the draft. I'm not so high on what's going on. I mean, look, everybody was so high on Justin Fields. I thought Justin Fields was going to have a season. Like all these guys coming out of these big schools like Ohio State and Alabama, and listen, they look good in college. But do you really see these kids coming into an NFL program next year? Any of these top level guys that are playing for college right now? What's the kid's name in Alabama? His name slips me right now.
Oh yeah, I've kind of like in the NFL mode, baseball
Exactly.
mode right now. But Rich, look at the quarterback crops. I mean, that came out. I mean, Joe Burrow, right? Pretty good.
Joe Burrow, right? Joe Burrow. Let's talk about Joe Burrow for a second. You just brought him up. Joe Burrow, did he fuck one of the offensive linemen's girlfriends or something? I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. Or did he bang one of their wives or something? Or did he not by a mistake? He got sacked 6 times over the weekend.
The funny thing is, the Bengals had a revamped, improved offensive line this year. What is improved? Define that for me, please. What is going on?
So that leads me to believe that handsome young man has tried to hit on maybe one of their wives or their girlfriends or something. I don't know.
Unreal. Crazy.
6 times, the poor kid guy. Well, I'm just hoping that whole Joe Burrow hangover pulls over this weekend because they are playing my Jets. So
That's
yeah,
right.
but I don't. He got sacked 6 times. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the NFL because listen, we don't know. We all think that we know what we're talking about, but another team, the Bengals, like I thought they'd be well into 3-0 by now. So you know what I heard too, Eric. Tell me if this is true, and tell me what you think about this comment. The Cardinals and the Raiders game last week. Obviously, the Cardinals pulled it out 29-23.
Yep.
Kyler Murray made a comment at the end of the game that would lead me to believe that there's going to be 1 or 2 games that, let's just put it this way. I think Kyler Murray should make sure for the rest of the season that his team is fighting for a playoff berth and not out of it completely. Because Kyler Murray said the other day, and I'm paraphrasing, basically he said, well, it's a good thing that I had to completely take the game over or we wouldn't have won this game. Now, for your quarterback to say that and leave the rest of your offense and your defense out there hanging and saying, all right, guys, you guys suck, so I guess I'm just going to have to come in and save the team. Now, is that a good thing for a quarterback to say to his team?
Wow, definitely a narcissist, huh? You really got to be a team player to be the quarterback. I don't think a Tom Brady would say that, right?
No, but that's the thing. I understand. You know what? You just said something. You got not so much a narcissist. You got to be a me guy. You got to be like, I'm the guy, but you got to know that your success is based around the people that are protecting you, the people that are running the ball, the people that are catching the ball, and for the people that keep you off the field, meaning the defense. I mean, it's you can't go around and say, and listen, they won the football game and he had a good game. Zach Ertz had a good game, but during that game too, he's gonna run for touchdowns. He's gonna pass. He's got his players, but I don't know. It's like I just think that maybe there might be a slip up and maybe somebody will say, "Oops, Kyler Murray." I guess somebody like smashed you in the chest and not pick him up. Maybe you won't make that comment anymore.
It's crazy. Yeah,
especially in football. Especially in football, you don't say that shit.
Yeah, but especially when you got 21 other guys on the field with you, it's a team sport. Maybe in golf you can get away with that. Being one guy, but it takes a whole team to win the games, Rich. Offense and defense, like you said, and special teams. So there's 3 facets to a football game, and But I guess he said he carried the team to victory, basically, right? And he kind of did with the 2 touchdowns late in the game.
Listen, it's true, but you don't say it. Listen, he was 31 for 49. He had 277 yards. He threw an interception. He ran for 1, and he had a touchdown pass. Listen, the kid's a good player, but be a little more, I guess, kind of be a little more humble. Or maybe he was taken out of context. I don't know. But I can tell you one thing. What the hell happened? What's his name? What happened to Adams the other night? 2 receptions for 12 yards, 1 touchdown. What happened to him the other night?
With his family in the stands, where the hell was he? I don't know what happened in that game, right?
I mean, Derek Carr is like, oh my guy, he did first 2 games. I mean, in the first game, he had a great game. Now, where is he? 1 touchdown. I mean, Waller had a touchdown, but I don't know.
Even the touchdown was like a 1-yard touchdown pass. I think it was like a shovel pass, as a matter of fact. It's like, and daily fantasy, I'm playing on FanDuel. I'm taking this guy's like, is he hurt? What's going on?
I don't know.
I expected 10 catches, 189 yards, and 3 touchdowns. What the hell's going on, right? Jeez.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm sorry, I'm bouncing back to something you said before too, because we mentioned the Niners and we didn't go through the Niners fully. We went through the Niners fully. Bosa had his 2 sacks, but the Seahawks suck, dude. They're terrible.
Yep.
Geno Smith. Look, Geno Smith had a Geno Smith game. He was 24 for 30, 197 with 1 interception. They're a terrible football team right now. And Garoppolo should have diced them up. It would have been embarrassing if Garoppolo, knowing the Seahawks, I mean, he's been in 49ers. it would be embarrassing for Garoppolo to go in there and lose to the Seahawks. I mean, the Seahawks are a terrible football team. They lost 27-7 to the Niners. Niners are hanging in there, but I don't know. Not to mention the fact that the Seahawks are just a terrible football team. I don't know what you think about them, but
they beat the Broncos, though, right?
the Broncos. Oh my God, what's up there?
Do you know this head coach Nathaniel Hackett, right? I want to talk about this guy, right?
Sure.
So, if the Broncos weren't playing the Texans this weekend, they would have been 0-2. I mean, this guy Hackett has lost all concept of time. This guy thrived as Aaron Rodgers' offensive coordinator, but I guess anybody can thrive under being the offensive coordinator for Aaron Rodgers, right? So
of course. Come on.
Broncos traded for Russell Wilson, like we know in the offseason, but have only scored 32 points in 2 games, and the fans are getting really angry in Denver. So I did some research, and I just want to give a story about this guy. So, being a head coach, you got to make decisions, but this guy Hackett can't do so. We saw in the Seahawks game the long time it took Hackett to get plays to Wilson, leaving the Broncos to scramble to get the play off before the clock ended. Instead of a timeout, he let 40 seconds roll off the clock and then called timeout to have Broncos kicker Brad McManus attempt and miss a 64-yard field goal. Well, Sunday it happened again. At the end of the first half, the Broncos had a 1st and goal on the 1-yard line with 3 timeouts left. He was wishy-washy about the play calling. Instead of calling timeout, the Broncos took a delay of game, putting the ball on the 6-yard line, having them settle for their field goal. It gets better, though, Rich. Denver trailing by 3, 3rd and 1. He calls an option to Javonte Williams. No. Melvin Gordon. No. How about fullback Andrew Beck, who has 1 carry in his career for 3 yards, 4-year career, 1 carry, right? Well, guess what? He lost the yard. Okay, now 4th and 2. He decides to keep his team on the field, but at the last second, he decides to put the field goal kicker in, not before the play clock expired, bringing another delay of game and forcing Denver to punt. So Hackett had to burn 2 timeouts in the second half, one because the Broncos didn't have a punt returner on the field, another because, yes, the play clock was going to expire. As a matter of fact, the Broncos had no timeouts with 7:30 left in the game, and the fans begin to chant the time now. So they do the countdown of the clock. So I don't know if you saw in the Bills game, fans were doing it. So it was a joke. They took it from the Denver game because the fans are doing their countdown the clock now because this guy can't even work with the play clock. He has no clue, this guy. I don't know how he's a coach in the NFL.
So there it is. There's your answer. That's what's wrong with the Broncos.
That's it. Exactly. So this guy's in his first year as coach, 2 games in. Did the Broncos fire him before the season ends?
If they keep playing the way they're playing, yeah, you fucking fire him. Absolutely. I mean, if he's making stupid calls like that, listen, I can see if you're winning football games and you make a silly call, but you're making stupid calls like that. Your team looks like they have a football player in Russell Wilson right now that is an elite quarterback in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't look like an elite quarterback in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby Brissett's playing better than him.
Exactly. Yep. Crazy, right? Unreal.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the coach makes a big deal.
So you're talking elite players, Rich? What do you think about Mike Evans being an elite player?
Okay, now I want you to talk about this.
Okay. So,
right.
Rich,
I want you to talk about that, and I'm going to give you my take on it. I love it, dude. I love it. Go ahead. I want your take because it's your team. But go ahead.
So, Rich, when you were a kid, right? You came home, you watched Channel 11, you watched Tom and Jerry, right? You like Tom and Jerry, right? So, Tom and Jerry, Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore over the years, they're Tom and Jerry. How the shenanigans go? These two have been at it forever, it seems. So, the Buccaneers Saints played this weekend. Same stuff happens, but I'm going to take you back 5 years. So Evans received a 1-game suspension for blindsiding Lattimore, right? Okay. So then in 2020, there was another incident where Lattimore shoved Evans in the back and Evans punched Lattimore, causing his helmet to fall off, right? Okay. And then there was Sunday afternoon. So Lattimore's getting in Brady's face, right? Evans emerges from nowhere and knocks Lattimore down, and both were ejected. The double ejection woke up the Bucs, actually, and my DirecTV was working at this point, Rich, so I was able to see this whole thing. The double ejection worked because the Bucs, who were shut out in the first half, entered the fourth quarter, tied with the Saints 3-3, went on to win 20-10, and Brady finally beat the Saints during the regular season in his 5th attempt. Okay, so Mike Evans, he's a Hall of Famer in my book, no doubt.
Okay.
7th overall pick at a 2014 draft, Super Bowl champ, 4-time Pro Bowler, has the record of 8 1,000-yard receiving seasons to start a career. If he plays 4 or 5 more solid years, Rich, he's in the top 10 of all time. Not going to catch Jerry Rice. We talked about that. But Evans is first a team guy, and team guys walk into Canton all the time, and that puts the team
Yeah.
first, and it showed on Sunday. The
Yeah.
guy's a classy guy. He is a Buccaneer for life, Rich.
Yeah, I love it. I love that intensity on the football field. Listen, he got he got ejected. But don't fucking get in my quarterback's face. Bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Get out,
Yep.
especially now. I would love to know if there's any history. Did they go to the same college? I know Lattimore's younger than him, right? Lattimore's a lot younger.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of agents, but Evans has about 5 inches and 40 pounds on Lattimore, so maybe
Yeah.
Lattimore, has the Napoleon whatever,
Yeah.
and he's
Listen, I know.
smaller or something,
Listen, Evans is a good player, but this kid Lattimore was a pretty good player, man. He hits hard, man. I remember a couple. Was he from LSU? I don't remember if he's from LSU.
I
I
don't know
remember
where
when he came into
Lattimore's.
the league. He was
Yeah,
a high level draft. I know he was a high level draft pick for a cornerback.
and he shut down Evans over the years too, so it's frustrating for Evans and stuff. But these two have been going at it. They hate each other.
Good.
They can't
Good.
stand each other. I mean, Evans will never be on Lattimore's Christmas card list, I gather, right? And vice versa, right?
And while all this fracas is going on, there's your boy Tom Brady, not running away from it, in the mix,
Yeah.
yelling at people,
So
getting in people's faces.
So let me tell you what happened, Rich. Okay, so it's 3-3, right? The fight happens and stuff. The Buccaneers punt, and the Saints have the ball, and then the real Jameis Winston shows up. What Jameis Winston? The Buccaneers' Jameis Winston.
God.
2 plays into it, throws into interception. The Buccaneers march right down the field, score. Next thing you know, same thing happens, another interception. Buccaneers score again. So there were 3 turnovers. The Buccaneers scored all their points on the turnovers, and they won the game 20-10. And I think it was the getting Lattimore out of the game because that was their best defensive back, and getting him out of the game really helped the Buccaneers to victory.
Jameis Winston was sacked 6 times, and he threw 3 interceptions.
Yep. And
6 times.
Brady was sacked once with this Swiss cheese offensive line the Buccaneers have. Brady was only sacked once in the game, believe it or not.
Yeah. It's that Tampa Bay defense is ridiculous.
And did you see him smashing tablets on the sideline? I think the tablets suffered more than Brady did, although he did hurt his finger, and it might be something coming up in this game this weekend against the Packers. We'll have to monitor that, but he did have like a little injury to his finger, but knowing Brady, he'll snap out of it.
All right, that it's good. Listen, he's gonna have to show up because you were just talking about my boy from Packers there, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had an Aaron Rodgers game the other night. Listen, be it he played against the Bears. Now, again, in retrospect, looking back, preseason, Justin Fields is going to have a decent season. Justin Fields sucks. I'm going to eat my words on that too. There's a couple things by the end of the season I'm going to eat my words on. And saying that Justin Fields is going to be a competitive quarterback this year in the NFL, he's terrible. He's 7 for 11 with 1 rushing touchdown, an interception. He's terrible. Montgomery had 122 yards. He was the only shining point for the Bears that day. And Rodgers had a Rodgers day, 19 of 25, 234, 2 TDs. The running back had a great game, 132 yards. I mean, he threw the ball to everybody. They sacked Justin Fields 3 times. I mean, this Bears team, this is a Bears team. It's like, you talk about these teams that are supposed to be good, and the Bears are an organization that's supposed to be good, and they haven't been good in a long time. They got to get their act together out there in Chicago if they want to compete.
Definitely. Did you see the celebration on the touchdown, Rich?
I did not.
Yeah. So we all know about Aaron Rodgers' ayahuasca trip this offseason.
I do.
So Alan Lazard, his wide receiver, acted like a shaman, pouring little tiny cups of brew for his teammates. Most reacted by falling down afterwards. Rodgers raised his arms to the side and began pulsating with ecstasy. Their
Love it.
celebration was the most thrilling moment of the annual Packers beatdown of the Bears at Lambeau Field, but confirms his teammates are down with the quarterback's spiritual journey. And by the way, the hallucinogen is not on the banned substance list in the NFL's drug policy.
It absolutely is not. And not to mention the fact, a little teaser. I got my ayahuasca interview, so that's
Oh,
going to be. Somebody reached out to me. Somebody reached out to me, so I got my interview. So
wow.
that's going to be. If listen, if you'd like to sit in and listen, you're more than welcome because I got somebody that's willing to talk to me about that. So I'll tell you more about that in the next couple of weeks.
Wow,
Off
that
air.
is must see TV or must listen to podcast at least, Rich,
I'm
right?
actually I'm very excited about it. Actually, to be honest with you, I'm
Wow,
very
that's awesome.
expressive. So I'll give you more details, but that's going to be coming soon. And I know I always say a lot of things are coming soon, but somebody just reached out to me yesterday, so I like to. That's another thing. I want to mention my cousin Michelle.
Hmm.
Now Michelle is. I never took my cousin Michelle for a sports fan, but she
Oh,
says that she watches these Met games and she listens. She listens to our podcast and she love it.
oh,
She loves it, and
wow,
she's actually the one that's going to hook me up with this interview. First person,
wow.
she's been very supportive. Her and her husband Paxton. They and a lot of my family members. I don't know about yours too, but they've been very supportive and listening. But
Yeah.
she wants to do a topic that I'm interested in and you're interested in, but I think that you being more of a numbers guy might be able to help along. She wants to come on the show. Now, my
Hmm.
cousin Michelle, she lives in New Jersey. I love my
Hmm.
cousin to death. Love her dearly. She's a wonderful teacher. She's a wonderful human being. She's a wonderful person. She is interested in the whole analytics stuff that goes on with baseball. And
Ah,
since when did math become so important in statistics and signing baseball players? And since when did math become now? Correct me if I'm wrong, Michelle, if you're listening. I'm pretty sure you're a math teacher, which would lead me to believe that this would interest you. So she wants to do. She wants to come on and talk with us. Maybe
oh,
we'll get her
great.
on maybe a half hour one night, to talk to us. She's very very curious to find out why math is so important in the game of baseball. And
Yeah,
I'm actually interested to find out why too. I hate these damn analytics, but
that was
sometimes it's
The Billy Bean era, Rich, with the
yeah,
Oakland A's, right? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes they do pan out. But I
Wow.
feel like so going off on a tangent in there for a second. Sorry about that.
Yeah, before we continue with the NFL, Rich, we have breaking news, and news always breaks on this show. But Albert Pujols just hit his 699th career home run against the Dodgers.
Yes, Albert Pujols. Yes, I can. I hope he hits 700. As a matter of fact, let's go into the fact that he should come back next season.
Mm,
What do you think about that?
I would love it. The
Do
question
you
is though,
think he
is
could
he?
come and beat the old Babe?
Oof, can you imagine that, Rich?
I don't know. It's within reach, right?
Everyone's coming after Babe lately. It seems, huh?
Exactly. Because you know what? I'm not even going to say it. I'll rile up Yankee fans. Whatever. I'm not even going to go off on a tangent about that. But whatever with Babe Ruth. Anyway. Anyway.
And the Mets are winning 8-0, Rich. I don't know if you have it on the background. It
Yeah,
looks
I do.
like Escobar hit a grand slam. It looks like.
Back to baseball real quick. Escobar has been on fire, dude.
Yep, yep.
He's been doing everything, hitting home runs. He's been doing everything. He's playing the field. He's been playing great right now. So hey, listen, they got to beat these teams. As well as I do. They have to beat these teams. So
That's right. Exactly, exactly. So you were excited about having your cousin Michelle on the show, and
yeah,
also you should be excited, Rich, that you went 10-6 in your picks last week in our
10,
football picks. You went 10-6.
10 and
The only
6.
bad thing is I went 11-5.
Oh, 11-5. Okay, so me being let me write this down. So I am 10-6. So let's for the first 2 weeks of our of this, what is the record now going? You're obviously ahead of me, but what is our records going into this third week?
So I am 20-12,
Okay.
and you are 13-19, Rich.
13-19. So
Proving
I
proving how much I don't want to drink the cider.
EDUBBS is at 20-12, and MURF is at 13-19. I am playing under 500 ball. That is not. I am not having that. Not having that. So that being said, we got to make our picks for this week.
Yes.
We already, like I said, we're friends. We don't lie about any of this. We already talked about last night's game, and I
Yep.
think we both said that we went with Pittsburgh, correct?
Yes, we went with Pittsburgh plus the 4, and we both lost.
Yes, and we both lost. Exactly. You know what it is? You know what is a Pittsburgh? Mitchell Trubisky is not winning Pittsburgh any Super Bowls or any. They got to do something. My buddy Scott is besides himself about how much the Pittsburgh Steelers suck right now.
Yeah, they're horrible. And, I thought it was going to be a low-scoring game because of the wind in Cleveland and stuff, but turned out to be a pretty high-scoring game
Can Minkah Fitzpatrick play quarterback?
Yeah, I'd have to ask my buddy Tim.
Yeah, another interception.
And he listens to our show, Minkah's uncle Tim. So my friend I went to high school with, so he listens.
Oh, he really is his uncle? I know I saw the on Facebook. He really is his uncle?
Yeah, he's his uncle, and then his cousin pitched for the Mets. His cousin was a pitcher, Jeff Bittiger. He pitched for the Mets in like 1980, and then he went on to the Phillies. Actually, had a home run with the Phillies, I believe, as a pitcher. But so good athletes in that family. Yeah, so yeah, he is Minkah Fitzpatrick uncle. Yes.
Oh, that's very interesting. Maybe he could get Minkah Fitzpatrick on our show.
I would. Yeah, that would be great. That would definitely boost up the ratings, right?
Damn right it would. All right, E. So we come to week 3 of the NFL. All right?
Yep.
We got our picks here.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, we go with the point spreads. So I need to make some picks here. They're going to shuffle things up a little bit. So I'm going to go. How have we been doing this? So we've been doing it. You know what? Why don't you give me your picks first this week?
Yeah, let me go first. I'll go through my picks and stuff, and then you give me yours, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to give like a little narrative with all the picks. So here I go. The Saints travel to Charlotte. Jameis Winston in the second half of the Bucs game looked like more like the old Jameis, like I said, right? And Panthers head coach Matt Rule's job is on the line. The Panthers have lost 9 games in a row dating back to last season and have not won a home game since September 19th, 2021, and that was against the Saints. So I think the Panthers rally in this one, and they win by 3. So the Panthers -3. Not win by 3, but I should say cover by 3,
Gotcha.
Okay, so yep. And then possibly the game of the week. Buffalo travels to Miami. The Dolphins are for real after 2 weeks. We shall see. Small sample size. Buffalo's won 7 straight versus Miami. Margin of victory, 19 points. Josh Allen has dominated Miami, and that will continue. Buffalo -6.
Buffalo -6.
Ex-Bears coach Lovie Smith returns to his old stomping grounds at Soldier Field this weekend. The game has no appeal whatsoever. I will put this one on DirecTV. I will take the home team, though, and the Lovey narrative return home will not be a happy ending. So Bears -3.5.
Okay.
2 teams in desperation mode. The Raiders and the Titans square off in Tennessee on Sunday. The Titans are licking their wounds after the trouncing by Buffalo. The Raiders are also getting over the shock of blowing the big lead at home. The Raiders have won their last 3 games in Tennessee, so why not make it 4? Raiders -1.
All right.
Okay, the Pat Mahomes show goes to Indianapolis this week. Mahomes has hooked up with 6 players on touchdowns this year so far. Does Matt Ryan have anything left in the tank? Might need another week to figure that one out. Kansas City wins big. Kansas City -6.5.
All right.
NFC North, black and blue matchup. You know how much I'm loving the Lions this year, Rich. They're certainly the feel-good team of the NFL. They're averaging 35 points a game, but on the other side of the ball, they're struggling. Going to be fun watching Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson hook up. Detroit keeps it close, though. Lions +7. Okay, what do the Ravens and Patriots both have in common? They both lost to Miami. They play each other this week, though. Baltimore's going to have to figure it out, especially their running game besides Lamar Jackson. I think the Ravens win, but the Pats will cover. New England +3.5. Okay, the Super Bowl hangover has not worn off yet in Cincinnati. The Jets did beat the Bengals on Halloween last year. The Bengals will try to get Joe Mixon going. I think the Jets will play on high from last week, and they will win. Jets plus 4.5.
I like it. Thank you. Going with my team.
Carson Wentz's revenge game here in the nation's capital. These teams have played close ones over the past couple of years. The Eagles are playing good ball. I could see them winning by a touchdown. Philly -4. Okay, the mighty Jaguars coming off a shutout of the Colts head to SoFi Stadium to take on the Bolts. The big question here is the health of Justin Herbert. The Jaguars are improved on defense and will keep this close. Jaguars +7.
Okay.
The Rams are 10-1 versus Arizona under Sean McVay. The Rams almost blew it last week while Kyler Murray tore apart the Raiders. The Cardinals' magic dies in the desert this weekend. Rams -4.
All right.
Okay, moving along. The last trip to Raymond James Stadium by Aaron Rodgers was not pretty, resulting in a 28-point loss. This might be the last time Brady faces Rodgers. The protection needs to be there if Green Bay will succeed. The Bucs have only given up 1 touchdown so far. Bucs go to 3-0, Tampa Bay -3. Hey, Rich, do you know Aaron Rodgers has thrown only 3 pick sixes in his career, and one of them was in these games at Tampa. I think he's like 1-3 in Tampa in his career, and his quarterback rating's like 74. Crazy, right? The Buccaneers have his number.
Okay.
So, yeah, so Buccaneers -3 on that one. The Falcons head back to the West Coast after almost erasing a 28-3 deficit versus the Rams this past weekend. Which quarterback between Marcus Mariota and Geno Smith would you choose? I wouldn't choose either. But I'm going to go with the home team here, Seattle -2. I mentioned Nathaniel Hackett before, the dumb Broncos coach. Will he do something stupid on national TV? I think this is a Sunday night game. Jimmy G will energize the San Francisco offense. The 49ers will pull out the win. Hackett will find somehow to lose this game. So I have San Francisco +1. And last but not least, the annual primetime Giants-Cowboys game. It's like Red Sox-Yankees. Has to be on primetime on a Sunday. But this is actually a Monday game, but it's still primetime. But can you imagine the Giants 3-0, Rich? Unfortunately, the Cowboys have won 9 out of 10 on this series. The Cowboys will pull up the upset this weekend, or Monday night, I should say. Dallas +5.
Dallas +5. All right.
That's what I got.
So, all right. That's your picks. All right. So, all right, it's good. I got a couple of different picks than you, so maybe I could pick up some ground here. I got a couple. I differ from you a couple of things. All right. Saints and Panthers. Now, I don't have it in front of me. Is this a Saints home game or is it a Panthers home game?
It's in Charlotte, Carolina.
In Charlotte, it doesn't matter. Saints win. Saints -3. Saints win the game. I'm going Saints over the Panthers. Unless McCaffrey had a good game last week. I mean, he got back to being, who Christian McCaffrey could be. Unless McCaffrey has a big game, but I just don't see the Panthers beating the Saints. I'm taking the Saints. Next game, Buffalo and Miami. Now, Tua is not going to be able to do what he did to Buffalo, the way he did to the Ravens, to Buffalo. Buffalo's got the best defense in football next to Tampa Bay. All right, so this game right here is at Buffalo -6. I know I say it in the past, but this is one of those games where I don't think the number's high enough. I think Buffalo really makes a statement in the division and blows out Miami by 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears in Houston. Now, this, like you said before, is probably one of the 2 shittiest games on the docket. I was kind of high on the Bears there in the beginning of the season with Justin Fields and Montgomery. I was low on Houston, but I'm going with Houston to win this game. The running back is going to have a big game. The quarterback sucks in Houston also, but I think the running back's going to have a big game. Houston comes out with the win.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders in Tennessee. I said it to you before. Tennessee is a terrible football team. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just waiting to break out of their shell. They have one of who's supposed to be one of the best running backs in the game. But again, they still have Ryan Tannehill as their quarterback. Raiders are hungry for a win. -1. Raiders win the game. Raiders win the game. I take the Raiders over the Titans. Now, this game right here is primed for an upset. But it's not going to happen because Pat Mahomes is – listen, Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes, take your pick. They're the two best quarterbacks on the planet right now. I take. I was up in the air before. I was going to go with the Colts because I was high on them. You know what? Screw it. I'm taking my first thing. I'm going Colts +6. I'm taking the Colts in that game. The Chiefs are going to have one of those games where they just can't get it together. And listen, every good team, every really good team has those moments. And I think this is going to be one of the miscommunication moments for Pat Mahomes. And I take the Colts +6. Minnesota, Detroit. Kirk Cousins, Detroit. If you look at the numbers, listen, since you said something about Detroit in the beginning of the season, I kind of been watching the numbers a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They have that running back Swift there, but do you know that 3 of their running backs last week combined for almost 175 yards? 3 running backs. Their running game was out of control last week. Now, Minnesota's defense to stop the run, I looked it up, not too good. So what I'm doing right here is Detroit's defense, the secondary is terrible. Justin Jefferson could either A, have a huge game, but I think that's going to be the only shining star for Minnesota. Justin Jefferson might have 10 catches for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, but the Detroit running game grounds and pounds, and Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions win against Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
The Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots. Now, the New England Patriots are a worse football team than the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins came back in the fourth quarter to beat the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know if their defense was slacking a little bit. I don't know if it was Lamar Jackson talking shit, saying, come on, guys, I'm doing everything like Kyler Murray was saying, but I don't think the Pats could beat the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson comes in and plays a good game. I think what's the running back's back this week, too. I think Dobbins back this week, I think.
Could be.
But him being back this week, -3.5, I am taking the Ravens to win this football game. I am riding my Jets till the wheels fall off. My Jets are going to go in Cincinnati. No, we're in the Meadowlands. We're in the Meadowlands. Meadowlands. I keep saying Meadowlands. What am I? Was it 1980? We are in MetLife Stadium. The Jets are going to continue their role. They're going to continue that fierce comeback that they started in the second half. Joe Flacco comes in and throws for another 4 touchdown passes, and Joe Burrow gets the shit beat out of him by that New York Jets defense. He may get sacked 4 times this weekend, but we do got to look out for Chubb because we do not have a good run defense. So that being said, I am taking the Jets. And it's the 4th week in a row. I'm taking my 3rd week in a row. I'm taking my team. And I don't normally do that, but I'm taking the Jets. Eagles, Washington. Eagles are going to crush the Commanders. The Commander Skins, whatever they are. Don't have much to say about this game. The only thing I can say about this game is my boy Devontae Smith finally had a good game last week. It took him 1 week, but he had over 100 yards receiving. Washington with Carson Wentz, I don't know. Eagles win this game. Eagles are at -4. The Philadelphia Eagles win this game because they got to keep up with that division that is going to get tighter with the Giants playing well now. So San Diego and Jacksonville, -7. The point spread seems like a trap to me, but I'm not falling for it. San Diego wins this game. Justin Herbert's going to play no matter what because he's a big, tough dude, and he's going to come in and he's going to beat Justin Herbert. And Austin Eckler's got he's going to have a good game too. I mean, he had a decent game last week. He caught a couple of passes and he ran. He had over 100 yards total between receiving and rushing. But right now, San Diego, and I'm sticking with them as my Super Bowl contender. And San Diego wins the game.
Don't forget, Rich, Los Angeles now, right? Not San Diego.
I keep saying San Diego.
All these teams that moved. It's like I still say St. Louis Rams sometimes too. So
yeah,
okay.
I still want to say the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, exactly.
So San Diego wins. San Diego. LA wins that game. All right. Now the Rams and the Cardinals. I don't like what Kyler Murray said last week. I want Aaron Donald to punch him in his face and sack him 3 times. I'm going with the Rams -4. I think it's going to be a good game. I really don't know who's going to win the game. I think it's going to be really good. The Cards can win. The Rams can win. But you know what, though? Shut up, Kyler Murray. I hope Aaron Donald punches you in the face and sacks you 4 times. Rams win the game. Tampa Bay and Green Bay. This is a no-brainer in my eyes. I know you're not going to like the answer to this question, but Ayahuasca Boy comes in and tears up your Tampa Bay secondary.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to make a statement right now, and I'm going to be like that baseball coach that makes that decision that it's a ridiculous decision and says if it works, he's a hero. If it doesn't work, he's a dick. I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers throws for 5 touchdown passes over the
Oh,
weekend against your Tampa Bay Bucks.
who's he throwing to?
I did exactly the people that he threw over the weekend. He threw to everybody. Aaron Jones, however, is not going to have a good game. Aaron Rodgers is going to have to take to the air and pick out his receivers. Cobb's going to have a good game. Green Bay goes in and kills Tampa Bay. And Tom Brady has a wake-up call and has to throw for more than over 197 yards to impress Mr. Murphy as a football fan. And you know I love Tom Brady, but Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers come in and kill the Tampa Bay Bucks. Jeez. Sorry, Eric. I just think that's the game.
Easy there, buddy. Easy.
Atlanta and Seattle. Seattle sucks. Atlanta's not that good. Marcus Mariota's got a really, really creepy mustache. Geno Smith, I don't like him too much because he did terrible things to my New York Jets. Not really terrible things to New York Jets. He just sucked. Atlanta wins this game. -2 for Seattle. Atlanta wins this football game. Denver and San Francisco. Enough said. Stupid coach. Russell Wilson doesn't like him. What's going on with Judy? He had 1 point for me in my fantasy team last week. Don't know what's going on with Denver. Like you said, stupid coach. San Francisco wins this game going away. Denver's -1, but San Francisco wins this game going away. Now, this is my game of the week right here. Now, I'm never excited about a Giants team. I could care less about the Giants, but I made a statement in the beginning of the season that said Saquon Barkley is going to carry this football team into a good season. Maybe not a playoff season, but a good season. Dallas Cowboys have, what's his name? Cooper, who's their quarterback there?
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
Cooper Prescott, whatever his name is. Anyway. You heard Jerry Jones. Talking about him the other day, saying he's going to fill in and he's my guy and he's going to win games with us. Cooper Rush, listen, he's okay. He's going to keep them in the game. But Saquon, my guy, get back at it. I know you had a slow first half last week, and he had a big second half with 72 yards. My guy Saquon Barkley goes in and tears up the Dallas defense. The Giants win and they cover. The Giants win by a touchdown on Monday Night Football and go to first place in the NFC East.
Wow. 3-0 Giants? Wow.
3-0 Giants. And listen, I feel the same way about the Giants as I feel about the Yankees. I got no reason to hate the Giants. The Giants, I wish nothing but the best for them. And they are going to go. They're going into Dallas, right? Yes, they're going into Dallas. And they're going to beat Dallas on their home turf. And there's going to be a lot of unhappy Dallas Cowboy fans on Tuesday morning.
Wow. Crazy.
That is my picks for week 3. And I picked a couple of different from you. So I'm hoping that they go my way so I could pick up some ground.
Yeah, it looks like we got about 8 picks that are opposite. So it's your time to pick up some ground there, buddy.
Yes, it is. And I know you're keeping track of it. And I know how much you love that apple cider that I'm going to add a little extra something to it. And I know this is not something that you're going to want. So you're going to be working really hard on your picks.
Pumpkin seeds. Oh, jeez. You know, it's crazy because I see the people drinking the cider at work and stuff. They got the little bottle in the refrigerator, and it's just like, why? I know I went off on a tangent on this, but it just irks me, Rich, all the time when I see that stuff. It's crazy. It's like, stop already. Jeez.
I hear you. All right. Hey, what is it? 2 hours and 20 minutes for tonight. We must have missed each other. So we covered baseball, we covered football, we covered I think we did a pretty good job covering both this evening. You know what I want to say? When does basketball season officially start?
The NBA, you mean?
The NBA. When does the NBA season officially start? I don't remember
the
date.
So the preseason games start next weekend. So we're looking about October 15th for the NBA, usually around that time to start.
All right, Eric, let's since you know them a lot more than I do, and if you want to come down, we can talk to them. Let's get something on the board with Jay for basketball.
Yeah, so what we'll do with that, Rich, the fall hoops start tomorrow. So the fall hoops are just like basically a 6-week program, and then the Big E is the winter hoops. So I'm thinking maybe on the first day of winter hoops, we do a broadcast from the Fishkill Rec, maybe.
That'd be fantastic.
which would be around, we're looking at like late November. So hopefully we'll have the logistics with the technology down by then, right?
That's, and that's the only thing that's stopping us from doing all these live feeds and stuff like that is, between the two of us, I wish one of us was an engineering marvel and knew how to hook all this shit up. But we're learning little by little. And, once we get more of the technological stuff, I know, there's just so many hours in the day we have to work and, coming home and figuring all this shit out, on the fly. No one's sitting here giving us $1 million contract to do a radio show for them. So everything's all set up for us. So, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
we'll get it.
once we make it big, Rich, then we can get the engineer, the producer, and everything like that. We'll get our little Baba Booey and stuff like that, so we'll be all set.
Yeah, we'll get our Baba Booey. Yeah, so I would like to do something with Jay. Jay seems to be very welcoming, especially from what Ben said earlier. I'd like to get him on and just talk about what a wonderful program he runs over there in Fishkill and how many it's been a pretty good basketball haven for these kids over the last bunch of years, and he really does a really good job with that. And I really appreciate the invite that he has for us to come on a show, and that should be fun. I know you have all your friends down there, and I've been disconnected from the rec for a couple of years, but I know Jay, and I know you have your friends down there, and I know they'll be very welcoming to the MURF and EDUBBS sports show down there. So let's get something on the calendar for that, Eric.
Yeah, and I don't know if I told you, Rich, but I do some volunteer work for the rec. I was the official statistician for the summer hoop season. I'm looking forward to doing it for the winter season as well. So it was kind of like an enjoyable summer, putting all the numbers together. It was pretty fun. And I look forward to doing it in the wintertime. And it really takes a lot off Jay and the guys to do. Solely volunteering, but it's fun. It's rewarding at the end of the day. So it's good.
I was just thinking maybe I could talk to Jay. Maybe Jay could hook my son Aiden up with a job. He needs a job.
Yeah. Ben loves it over there. I mean, tomorrow he goes back. Yeah, they got the fall hoop starting tomorrow. So Ben's going to do the games from like 3 to 9 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to go visit the guys at the scorers table, say hello to Charlie, my boy over there, and Ben and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to stop by tomorrow and stuff. Just
what time? What time is Ben going to be up there?
He goes around 3 o'clock. He starts. He goes around 3 to 9. He works tomorrow. So
you never know. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I might be roving around the area. I got a long day. Oh, actually, no. Aiden's games are canceled tomorrow. I got Jack's football game tomorrow. Oh, I've been talking so much junk. Not so much junk about how this New Rochelle football team is going to come in and kick the shit out of John Jay. John Jay beat them 35-0 tonight.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
John Jay varsity football team. Brady Feliciano must have had a huge game tonight, or I don't know. Something's going on. The New Rochelle's supposed to have this great, from what I understand, 35-0. The John Jay Patriots of Fishkill, New York, beat New Rochelle, New Rock City. Let's go, John Jay Patriots. Now that leaves the John Jay Patriots at 2-1 for the varsity team and 2-1 for the JV team, which my son Jack is a part of. And tomorrow morning, we are going down to New Rochelle with the JV team. And my son Jack is a 9 a.m. game tomorrow down there. So that's what I will be attending tomorrow on this beautiful day. Aiden was supposed to have a tournament in Newburgh, but I don't know, something happens. He's got a doubleheader on Sunday. So I got another weekend of watching my boys play sports. And again, like that's what I love to do.
Hey, Rich, I have a question. How do they like those early morning football games, the kids? Do they, 9 o'clock, that's a little early, right, for hitting and stuff, isn't it?
I gotta drop Jack off at John Jay High School tomorrow morning at 6:15 a.m.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
For the bus to leave at 7. So how they like it? I think they couldn't like it. No one wants to get up at that age as a kid, but once they're up and they're in their uniform and they're in their pads and they're hitting each other and they forget about being tired. And
true.
I just want to wish the JV football team tomorrow good luck. I'll be there cheering you guys on, and I'll pop on the next couple of days to give you guys an update. They're doing pretty good this year. Like I said, you got 2-1. 2-1 for the football team, and on both sides, JV and varsity. It's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of them. Being my son Jack's first time playing, I'm pretty proud of him. So
nice. I can't understand, Rich, the on the high school football, they end so early though. Like, what did they end in October usually or something?
Yeah, third week. Jack's got 6 games left. So it's quick.
I grew up in Jersey, and they were playing. The last game of the season was Thanksgiving usually. That was the big rivalry game, and then the playoffs started. My high school actually played in Giant Stadium the year before I started high school. They played the
Wow.
championship game for New Jersey in Giant Stadium. They lost, I believe, but just going to Giant Stadium, that was pretty cool, huh?
And what high school is this?
It was called Madison Central High School. Now it's called Old Bridge High School, but they had a good football program back
Nice.
in the day and stuff. So yeah, they played pretty good. So we had two high
Nice.
schools. We had a high school on the other side of town. They never won a game. Our high school won all the games, and then what they did, they combined all the high schools. It's just one high school now. So now
Very
the
cool.
rivalry is like another town, basically.
Yeah, very cool.
The
Very cool.
rivalry game. Yeah.
All right, my friends. So yeah, it's nice, good show.
Perfect show. We did it. Definitely missed each other, Rich.
Yeah, man. Hey, like I said, I was under the weather for the last couple of days. We're gonna get back at it. I got a lot of ideas, coming up. We got to get back on more. We got to get our voice heard. We got to get, even if even if you want to pop on, like I was feeling under the weather, if you want to pop on, but I think we do. Me and you do a good job together. I think we, like we always say, we bounce off each other really well.
And the
So,
segues
all
are
right,
good too, right? Good segues too, Rich, right?
excellent segues. Excellent. It's almost like we've been doing it forever. So what was the final score of the Yankee game this evening? Just for the record, as we're signing off.
Yeah, the Yankees beat the Red Sox 5-4,
And the Mets
and
are
I
winning
believe the
9-0.
Mets are winning, right?
The beating the Athletics 9-0 in the middle of the 7th. So we are both happy campers for our baseball teams.
And the
And
Yankees'
hopefully,
magic number is 4 now because
all right.
the Toronto Blue Jays lost, or Tampa Bay won. They beat Toronto, so it's 4 games now, the Yankees' magic number. So it could be done by Sunday night.
Awesome. Hey, what do you call it? What do you? I want to get that Yankee trivia done with Joe. It only take about a half hour. Maybe we'll do it maybe in the next couple of days.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm around. Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to doing that. I got the thing tonight with the Aaron Judge thing, right? Who the Yankees got the draft pick from signing with Cleveland. So you had that question for me, but I'm ready for cousin Joe. Bring it on.
All right, man. All right, Eric. So another good show. Tomorrow is Saturday, and I'm gonna publish this as soon as possible. So this will be ready for the morning. So it's great talking to you, and we're gonna do this again next week. And once we get our live show going, we're gonna have to hammer out a day. And Friday night and Saturday night both seem like good days, so this might be a reoccurring thing for us. So, anything else you want to say to our audience, E?
I just want to say, like the Facebook page, and like I said, our Facebook group, I should say, and comment, put some memes up, put some funny stuff up. We're always good to get a good laugh. We're two funny guys, so we kind of like your humor out there, everybody. So make us laugh, okay?
All right, guys. All right, Eric. It was great talking to you, and I'll see you in the next couple of days, and we'll talk. And I guess we're out of here. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah, peace out, everyone. And Rich, have a good one. Take care, buddy.
You too, my friend. Good night.
Thanks.